immune-boosting ingredient found in nature. Meet Wellmune, a science-backed, natural ingredient that can help keep our immune cells ready for action. What exactly is this superhero ingredient? Wellmune is a fiber called a yeast beta-glucan that is clinically proven to help strengthen the immune system. Wellmune works by priming billions of immune cells, helping them quickly find and kill foreign invaders that may harm our health. And while you might be familiar with other beta-glucans or immune-boosting ingredients, Wellmune is one of a kind. That's because clinical research shows that Wellmune has the ability to support overall immune function, help maintain overall physical health, protect against the harmful effects of stress, promote healthy energy levels and mental clarity. Wellmune, helping you be well and stay well.
Welcome to the world of Christian Hansen. Every day, our natural products are consumed by over 1 billion people around the world. We develop solutions for the food and beverage, nutritional, pharmaceutical, and agricultural industries using natural ingredients. Innovation has been the backbone to our business for more than 140 years. Our eagerness to pioneer science means we will keep developing natural and microbial solutions for coming generations. For a future defined by natural ingredients. Working with nature's own resources, we provide safe solutions to protect the consumer at every step, from farm to fork. Join us on our journey to improve food and health for a sustainable future. Christian Hansen, improving food and health passionately.
We all worry about staying healthy. When we feel well, we have more energy, better mental clarity, and we're able to do what we love most. But with a busy lifestyle, healthy habits aren't always easy to stick to. So, what if there was a way to support your immune system by consuming foods, beverages, and supplements fortified with an immune-boosting ingredient found in nature? Meet Wellmune, a science-backed, natural ingredient that can help keep our immune cells ready for action. What exactly is this superhero ingredient? Wellmune is a fiber called a yeast beta-glucan that is clinically proven to help strengthen the immune system. Wellmune works by priming billions of immune cells, helping them quickly find and kill foreign invaders that may harm our health. And while you might be familiar with other beta-glucans or immune-boosting ingredients, Wellmune is one of a kind. That's because clinical research shows that Wellmune has the ability to support overall immune function, help maintain overall physical health, protect against the harmful effects of stress, promote healthy energy levels and mental clarity. Wellmune, helping you be well and stay well.
Welcome to the world of Christian Hansen. Every day, our natural products are consumed by over 1 billion people around the world. We develop solutions for the food and beverage, nutritional, pharmaceutical, and agricultural industries using natural ingredients. Innovation has been the backbone to our business for more than 140 years. Our eagerness to pioneer science means we will keep developing natural and microbial solutions for coming generations. For a future defined by natural ingredients. Working with nature's own resources, we provide safe solutions to protect the consumer at every step, from farm to fork. Join us on our journey to improve food and health for a sustainable future. Christian Hansen, improving food and health passionately.
We all worry about staying healthy. When we feel well, we have more energy, better mental clarity, and we're able to do what we love most. But with a busy lifestyle, healthy habits aren't always easy to stick to. So, what if there was a way to support your immune system by consuming foods, beverages, and supplements fortified with an immune-boosting ingredient found in nature? Meet Wellmune, a science-backed, natural ingredient that can help keep our immune cells ready for action. What exactly is this superhero ingredient? Wellmune is a fiber called a yeast beta-glucan that is clinically proven to help strengthen the immune system. Wellmune works by priming billions of immune cells, helping them quickly find and kill foreign invaders that may harm our health. And while you might be familiar with other beta-glucans or immune-boosting ingredients, Wellmune is one of a kind. That's because clinical research shows that Wellmune has the ability to support overall immune function, help maintain overall physical health, protect against the harmful effects of stress, promote healthy energy levels and mental clarity. Wellmune, helping you be well and stay well.
Welcome to the world of Christian Hansen. Every day, our natural products are consumed by over 1 billion people around the world. We develop solutions for the food and beverage, nutritional, pharmaceutical, and agricultural industries using natural ingredients. Innovation has been the backbone to our business for more than 140 years. Our eagerness to pioneer science means we will keep developing natural and microbial solutions for coming generations. For a future defined by natural ingredients. Working with nature's own resources, we provide safe solutions to protect the consumer at every step, from farm to fork. Join us on our journey to improve food and health for a sustainable future. Christian Hansen, improving food and health passionately.
We all worry about staying healthy. When we feel well, we have more energy, better mental clarity, and we're able to do what we love most. But with a busy lifestyle, healthy habits aren't always easy to stick to. So, what if there was a way to support your immune system by consuming foods, beverages, and supplements fortified with an immune-boosting ingredient found in nature? Meet Wellmune, a science-backed, natural ingredient that can help keep our immune cells ready for action. What exactly is this superhero ingredient? Wellmune is a fiber called a yeast beta-glucan that is clinically proven to help strengthen the immune system. Wellmune works by priming billions of immune cells, helping them quickly find and kill foreign invaders that may harm our health. And while you might be familiar with other beta-glucans or immune-boosting ingredients, Wellmune is one of a kind. That's because clinical research And while you might be familiar with other beta-glucans or immune-boosting ingredients, Wellmune is one of a kind. That's because clinical research shows that Wellmune has the ability to support overall immune function, help maintain overall physical health, protect against the harmful effects of stress, promote healthy energy levels and mental clarity. Wellmune, helping you be well and stay well.
Welcome to the world of Christian Hansen. Every day, our natural products are consumed by over 1 billion people around the world. We develop solutions for the food and beverage, nutritional, pharmaceutical, and agricultural industries using natural ingredients. Innovation has been the backbone to our business for more than 140 years. Our eagerness to pioneer science means we will keep developing natural and microbial solutions for coming generations. For a future defined by natural ingredients. Working with nature's own resources, we provide safe solutions to protect the consumer at every step, from farm to fork. Join us on our journey to improve food and health for a sustainable future. Christian Hansen, improving food and health passionately.
We all worry about staying healthy. When we feel well, we have more energy, better mental clarity, and we're able to do what we love most. But with a busy lifestyle, healthy habits aren't always easy to stick to. So, what if there was a way to support your immune system by consuming foods, beverages, and supplements fortified?
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to join the event. All right, let's start. Good afternoon, good morning, or good day, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Jack. I'm the editor for Ringa Trade Media. I want to welcome you all to our very exciting and interesting virtual conference, the Asian Food and Beverage Ingredients Summit, Formulating with Innovative Ingredients and Solutions. This is our series of Asian Food and Beverage Summit that focuses on innovative ingredients and solutions. Using ideal ingredients for producing high-quality food is important because consumers demand it, customers demand it. After all, we are what we eat. Especially now, as the COVID-19 pandemic is upon us, staying healthy and eating right are key. So, sit back and have a listen to our speakers today. Before we begin with the presentations, I would like to acknowledge our premium event partner, Kerry Group. The taste and nutrition company offers solutions that nourish lives all over the world. For humble beginnings as an Irish dairy cooperative, Kerry has grown into a large international food and industry leader, with offices in 32 countries, 151 manufacturing facilities, and more than 26,000 employees globally, including more than 1,000 food scientists. I would like to share one short informative video with you to learn more about this company.
We all worry about staying healthy. When we feel well, we have more energy, better mental clarity, and we're able to do what we love most. But with a busy lifestyle, healthy habits aren't always easy to stick to. So, what if there was a way to support your immune system by consuming foods, beverages, and supplements fortified with an immune-boosting ingredient found in nature? Meet Wellmune, a science-backed, natural ingredient that can help keep our immune cells ready for action. What exactly is this superhero ingredient? Wellmune is a fiber called a yeast beta-glucan that is clinically proven to help strengthen the immune system. Wellmune works by priming billions of immune cells, helping them quickly find and kill foreign invaders that may harm our health. And while you might be familiar with other beta-glucans or immune-boosting ingredients, Wellmune is one of a kind. That's because clinical research shows that Wellmune has the ability to support overall immune function, help maintain overall physical health, protect against the harmful effects of stress, promote healthy energy levels and mental clarity. Wellmune, helping you be well
like to also invite you that to find more information, welcome, pay a visit to their booths to check out. Especially, there's a download link for the white paper of beverages for immune health. You must not miss it. And we have to know about Wellmune, as in the video, a leading yeast beta glucan clinically proven to help strengthen your immune system. Added to everyone every day in the foods, beverages, and supplement. Wellmune allows you to be well and stay well. Thanks to our partners. Now, before we start, I would like to let me explain some important reminders about the event page. Let me share the screen to all of you. So, as you can see it, now in the screen, you can see in the lobby, right? At the lobby on the right side, have you just introduced yourself and greetings, saying hi to each other? We have many helpers and assistants there from ringers and from the speakers as well. Don't forget to leave your message and questions saying hi there to them. Let's go to the conference room where you stay. It's very important at the right side, we have a different chat box as well. You have to ask questions later. And our speakers will answer those questions in the live Q&A. You can hide all here and show all to minimize or enlarge the screen area, and to mute, to stop, and to full screen. Click here to full screen, everything. And scroll down, we have the speaker's information. One click there button, you can find more information and even contact information with them. And scroll down, there are our agendas for today. It's very exciting. And also, let me introduce the exhibit booth. So, at the exhibit booth, we have Kerry. Scroll down, we have the speaker's contact information. Click Start Chat. You can have saying hi to them, and they will give you the feedback. You can ask questions or have further discussion. Scroll down, we have download PDF, and especially we have a white paper to download. It's this very great chance to have the white paper to download. So don't miss the chance. Go to the exhibit booth later, all right? And then the networking area function and the private chat function, I will leave it to you to explore more. Let's go back to the on-air room. So exciting. Let's take a look at our very exciting agenda today. In our agenda, we have two speakers from Kerry, Miss Ying Li and Miss Genny Tan. Also, joining our event are Mr. Ross Crittenden of Hansen and Mr. Arianto Mulyadi of PT Indesso and Miss Eliza Tsun of Roquette. Thank you all on Ringer's behalf for gracing our event. Finally, we will have a panel discussion titled The Scenario in Southeast Asia as to Functional Food and Beverage Consumption in the Next Few Years, and how manufacturers can adapt to the demand. So, on the left side, warmly reminder. Also, please visit Kerry's booth. And also, I want to connect with our speakers. Go to the speaker channel beside conference, and you can send a message to them, to our speakers. They might answer your questions later in text or answer them in the live Q&A in person. Let's go to our live presentation sessions now. So, as I said, let's welcome our first speakers. Our first speakers, actually we have two speakers. Mr. Ying Li, the Senior Strategic Marketing Manager for Beverage at Kerry Asia Pacific, Middle East, Africa, and the Kerry Group. And Ms. Genny Tan, the Business Development Manager of Kerry Asia Pacific and Southeast Asia. They will talk about the topic Beverages in the New Normal, a great opportunity for functional and health benefits. Let's listen to them. Welcome.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for taking your time to attend our webinar. We are from Kerry Ingredient, and today we'll be talking about beverage in a new normal, a great opportunity for functional and health benefits. So I'm Ying. I'm the Senior Strategic Marketing Manager for Beverage for Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa. And then joining me today will be Genny Tan. She is actually the Business Development Manager for Applied Health and Nutrition for Southeast Asia. So this is the agenda for today. We're going to take you through a brief introduction to Kerry Ingredients, followed by a consumer insight on beverage trend and rising demand for immunity benefit. And Genny will take you through how Kerry can be a partner with Wellmune. So for Kerry Ingredient, we are proud of our unique from food for food heritage and have become a purpose-led company who believe in inspiring food and nourishing life. Inspiring food is about innovation, nourishing life is about sustainability. Our purpose, coupled with our vision, is to be our customer most valued partner, creating a world of sustainable nutrition, keeping us focused on delivering technology solutions that shape the future of food. Our skill, together with our guiding principle of being globally connected and locally led, meant that we can actually partner effectively with our customer from ideation to launch while meeting many differing customer needs. Together with our extensive technology portfolio and enabled by world-class science, meant that we can actually excel at the intersection of taste and nutrition, which you see on the slide over here. This holistic approach is the key differentiator for us. It is accumulation of decades of research development and investment in our broad technology platform to being the industry leader in integrated solution. So this is actually our very short introduction of Kerry Ingredient Group. And now I'm going to bring you through our consumer insight. So consumer insight on our beverage trend, as well as what is contributing to the rising demand for immunity benefit. So consumer want better taste, more authentic, natural, and local experience. They want enhanced nutrition for better health and overall well-being, as well as being convenient and affordable option to match today's on-the-go lifestyle. At Kerry, we call this the end consumer. So possibly one of the most important things for brands and manufacturers to be aware of is the shift in the end consumer priorities, which is what you can see on the slide over here. On the right, we see how this has shifted since the pandemic. Health and wellness has actually grown in importance to consumer as well as value. So these 2 points we are going to elaborate deeper and further in our later slides. And what we see another call out is that a growth in trust and safety as a priority, especially where millennials are the most conscious group when it comes to safety. So this is a really, really good example on consumer shifting priorities. That is a shift in emphasis from performance benefit to immune system benefit. So Pocari Sweat is a very, very good example. So in a 2018 marketing material, as you can see, it's really more about performance, how the benefit of staying hydrated is really about, muscle fuel, calorie control, productivity boost. Whereas fast forward to 2020, they have added something more inside, which is talking about immune health system and improve your boosting your immunity as well. So this is what we can see how they respond to the end consumer changing priorities. So according to Innova research, boosting immunity is the most desired functional feature. This is followed by gut health and hydration. Gut health and hydration have demonstrated links to improving overall health and boosting immunity. So what are the trends driving new product development in ASEAN? We have identified some new areas, including some areas that has been further accentuated as well. So these areas are like feed the mind, redefining value, as well as health and wellness. So these three new areas or really strong areas are linked to boosting immunity, which will be leading the development and trends in ASEAN. So the first one is actually Fit the Mind. So according to the Happiness Index, consumer globally name happiness and comfort over mood, relaxation, and clear thinking as important aspect of food and bev. Rising attention on mental and emotional health has been multiplied by the pandemic and its far-reaching impact. Consumers increasingly seek for functional drinks that offer a sense of escape and to better cope with their day-to-day tasks. In fact, 3 in 4 consumers agree that being mentally healthy boosts the immune system. So one of the really good example that we can see on the slide here is by Cacao Lab. So Cacao Lab is actually a ceremonial grade cacao blend that comes with a guided meditation and ritual. So it provides stress relief and better quality of sleep through this multi-sensorial experience as well as ritual. So it's also fortified with maca for energy and turmeric for anti-inflammatory for the additional functional impact. So the second one is redefining value. As we have seen in the earlier slides, today's consumer value their daily essential very differently, and they seek to elevate their everyday life experience as well. Value are redefined by these 4 disruptive forces, which is informed consumer, convenient, effective, and affordability. So one really interesting studies that was done by Innova over here in this particular statement, due to COVID-19, I have spent time educating myself on ingredients and procedures that can boost my immune health. So in fact, 54% of the respondents actually agreed with this particular statement. So this really showcase how value is being redefined in the market as well. So one really interesting example that we'd like to showcase here is this drink called Lemon Perfect. Lemon Perfect is actually positioned at a sweet spot, the intersection of 3 categories: carbonated soft drinks, water, as well as juice. So Lemon Perfect is a better for you beverage that not only offer natural nutrition, natural hydration, but also nutrition through organic cold pressed California lemons. In fact, it is a very drinkable wellness, made accessible for anyone, anytime, and anywhere. So the last most important call out that we have in terms of trends and new product development is definitely health and wellness. So health and wellness encompass some of our most fundamental needs for example, such as for preventive purposes, vitality purposes, for taking good care of yourself, for long-term health, as well as for proactive health. In fact, more than over 60% of the consumer will prefer well-being products such as immunity boosting benefit to blend into their day-to-day food and bev product. So for example, on one of our studies over here, 69% of the respondents said that they would rather consume immune supporting food and beverage instead of supplement, because supplement felt like you are taking a medicine, whereas a food and bev is something that you can blend really seamlessly into your day-to-day life. So this is actually one really interesting example over here. 7 out of 10 Asian consumer find immunity boosting product or claims very appealing in food and drinks. So one example is an upgrade of traditional recipes that you see in cumin C, this particular product. So cumin C is basically, using traditional ingredients like turmeric, which contains curcumin, which is known to actually has anti-inflammatory effect. So this particular product is further boosted by having a vitamin C for the additional immunity boosting effect. So another example is also plant forward. 6 out of 10 Asian are driven by health to actually try plant alternative of plant forward product. So one example over here is by Sanitaria, which is an Australian company. So they are looking at Southeast Asia as a key target market for its new range of So Good Barista plant-based milk, and this is really designed to meet consumers' home-based beverage need amidst the uncertainty of COVID-19. So this is really 2 very important, I would say, interesting example when it comes to contributing to the health and wellness landscape. So the importance of immunity product is further validated by our own proprietary research that was done earlier this year. So as you can see, 66% of the consumer are buying more fortified food and bev products since COVID-19. And in fact, immunity is one of the top driver of purchase when it comes to buying food or selecting food and bev product. So if we actually look into the new product launches in Asia, immunity has actually gone up 2 spots in claim for new product launches within a very short period of 5 months as compared to the last 3 years. So this really further strengthen it really points out the importance of immunity product or immunity claim in food and bev in the market. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this on to my colleague Genny, who's going to take you through our proprietary immunity product, Wellmune. So on to you, Genny.
Thank you very much, Ying. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all wherever you are in this globe. I hope you, your family, and friends are doing well and keeping safe. Thank you to the organizer for inviting Kerry to talk in this virtual conference. My name is Genny Tan. I'm the Business Development Manager for Kerry Applied Health and Nutrition for Southeast Asia region. In continuity with what Ying presented, health and wellness has always been part of the food and beverage macro trend. Therefore, for decades. Therefore, we're not talking about revolution here, but about an evolution of the trend. An evolution that has been accelerated by the global health crisis that we have all been facing for the past 18 months. Consumers are becoming more aware, more educated, thus more sophisticated, and more demanding when it comes to health and wellness products. One of the winners of this global health crisis is immune health need state. Immune health benefit has always been one of the most desired benefits for consumers globally, but hard to capitalize by the industry because immune health benefits, it's hard to demonstrate to consumer. Because immune health benefits, it's hard to measure by consumers. Because immune health benefits, it's hard to feel by consumers. So, how to become successful in the crowded space of immune health? This brings me to introduce you to a Kerry technology under the brand name of Wellmune. What is Wellmune? Wellmune is defined as a natural food, beverage, and supplement ingredient clinically proven to help strengthen the immune system. Wellmune is extracted from the cell wall of baker yeast called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Kerry is using a proprietary strain as well as a proprietary process to ensure that we deliver batch by batch consistent quality, and most importantly, we deliver batch by batch the same quality as what it was used in the clinical research. Wellmune is also an ingredient that is supported by over a dozen of clinical researchers, demonstrating very consistent results on showing the reduction of number of people with symptoms of cold and flu. And we know that science can build credibility with consumers. We know that science can cut through the noise with consumers. We know that science can reduce the fear of the unknown with consumers. We know that science is the key to understanding and communicating with consumers. Wellmune is also an ingredient that has a clear known mechanism of action, allowing our customers to clearly communicate with the consumers how does the molecule work in your body, how does the molecule interact with your immune system to deliver the benefit that you claim, allowing our customers to then be transparent with the consumers and therefore build trust with the consumers. Trust becoming more and more important when you play in a crowded space. Wellmune is also a patented and award-winning global brand supported by a tremendous marketing material to help our customers to communicate with the consumers on what is immune health, what is yeast beta-glucan. Wellmune is also a clean ingredient. It's kosher, halal, gluten-free, non-allergenic, non-GMO, and organic compliant. Last but not least, Wellmune is safe for everyday consumption and is safe for long-term consumption. Throughout the different clinical research that has been conducted on Wellmune, we are confident to say that Wellmune can help improve general immune health. Wellmune can help maintain overall physical health. Wellmune can help protect against the harmful effects of stress. Wellmune can help promote healthy energy level and mental clarity. Let's look now in more detail on the different points that I just shared. Starting with the molecular structure of Wellmune. Wellmune is a non-digestible fiber, consists of a linear backbone of beta-1,3-glycosidic bonds with a long beta-1,6 branching, as you can see on top left of the slide. Wellmune is extracted from the cell wall of baker yeast, which consists of multiple layers. So Kerry isolates the molecule, purify it, and standardize it to ensure the quality we deliver to our customers. On the right side, the table shows the different type of source of beta-glucan that are currently used in the market. And on the left column, you see the molecular structure of the beta-glucan depending on the source that is used. Cereal and bacterial beta-glucan has a linear structure, while yeast and fungal beta-glucan has branch. A short beta-1,6 branch for fungal, a long beta-1,6 branch for yeast. This shown that a clinical research done on the one type of beta-glucan cannot be extrapolated to another source of beta-glucan because the molecular structure has an impact on the health benefit that you observe. Now that you have an understanding on how is the molecular structure of Wellmune, let's look at how the molecule works in your body, the mechanism of action of Wellmune. So once consumed, Wellmune is taken up by your body, reach your intestine, where it will be engulfed at the Peyer's-Patcher's cell level in the small intestine. There, the macrophage will break down the molecule, the Wellmune molecule, to a smaller particle that will then go and bind to the neutrophil. Neutrophil are the most abundant immune cell in your body, counting for 40 to 60% of your innate immune system, and your innate immune system being your first line of defense. Primed by Wellmune, neutrophil are can move quicker and faster, and recognize the foreign challengers, then can kill the foreign challengers, such as virus or bacteria. Here, a short 20-second video summarizing the mechanism of action of Wellmune.
Once swallowed, Wellmune is taken up into the body through specialized immune tissue in the small intestines. There, immune cells engulf Wellmune and degrade it into smaller fragments that bind to neutrophils, which are the most abundant immune cells in the body. In fact, neutrophils account for 50 to 60% of all white blood cells. Primed with Wellmune, neutrophils more effectively circulate throughout the body and kill foreign challengers.
So we have looked at now the molecular structure of Wellmune. We have now a good understanding on how Wellmune interact with your immune system to deliver the immune health benefits that we claim. Let's look at the clinical research that support Wellmune. Since we sell Wellmune on the market more than 15 years now, clinical research has been conducted over 2,300 consumers, 70% on adults, 30% on children, on the very wide profile of consumers, whether it's older adults consumers, children consumers, medical or lifestyle stress consumers like you and me facing our daily life stress, but also intensive exercise consumers, also called as weekend barrier consumers, as well as general population and allergy and consumers with mild allergy symptoms. On the right side is the health claim of Wellmune that I shared earlier, but because this is important, I will read it again. Wellmune is proven to help improve general immune and physical health. Wellmune is proven to help protect against the harmful effect of stress. Wellmune can help promote healthy energy levels and mental clarity. The last claim has been approved by the Ministry of Health of Malaysia based on the Wellmune dossier submission. Beta-glucan from yeast may help to support immune system associated with colds. Due to the limitation of time, I won't be able to go through too many clinical research of Wellmune, but I would like to share at least one to show you the type of research that has been conducted as well as the type of result we have observed. So this is a lifestyle stress study. We conducted for 4 weeks in the US on 150 healthy volunteers with an average age of 37 years old. It was a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, parallel arm study. We gave to the participant 250 milligrams of Wellmune in a capsule format versus the placebo who received 250 milligrams of rice flour in the capsule format. And the study has shown two health benefits. The first one is the group who has taken the Wellmune has recorded 71% fewer people who has recorded symptoms of upper respiratory tract infection. In another word, reduction number of people who has reduction of cold and flu symptoms versus the placebo. But in that study, we also measure the impact of Wellmune on improving the general well-being of the participant. And we use for that the profile of mood state survey, which has shown that 42% of the group who has taken Wellmune has recorded more energy, more vigor, 38% less fatigue, 15% less confusion, 19% less tension. So in this study, we've shown that Wellmune not only has an impact on the immune health benefits, but also an impact on your mood state, on your brain health, or your mental clarity. Here are other type of clinical research on Wellmune. What I would like to demonstrate here, as you can see on the right side, consistently, Wellmune has been demonstrating to deliver that benefits on reducing the number of people who got the symptoms of a cold and flu. Whether it's, again, on another lifestyle stress study conducted for 12 weeks, on consumers with intensive exercise, on older consumers, on children, or even on the stress consumers like firefighters or medical students. Last but not least, on that clinical research, I would like to share with you also this review that was published mid of last year, where the authors has looked at all the different yeast beta-glucan that is available on the market and make a comparison on the clinical research available, as well as comparing the result from that clinical research. The review outcome was that Wellmune is the best studied beta-glucan ingredient. Wellmune is the one that has demonstrated the best result. And this review also called out the importance of using the right processing method to extract the yeast beta-glucan to ensure that you deliver that quality consistently. Then the review also highlights several clinical research from Wellmune showing that Wellmune has the ability to support overall immune health in a range of a healthy population, including children, athletes, and people with mild allergies. So throughout this slide, we have shown that in order to be successful in that crowded space of immune health, gaining crowded space of immune health, and science can help to do that. Science can build credibility with consumers. Science can cut through the noise with consumers. Science can reduce the fears of the unknown with consumers. So working with science-backed ingredients and able to clearly communicate with consumers will allow you to differentiate in the market. Then for my last slide for this session, I would like to share with you an overview of where Wellmune has been used globally. But also this slide is showing the evolution of the immune health benefits. From the supplements and milk formula application, we see that immune health benefit is moving to a more general food and beverage market, even into the food service and convenience store. This is a sign showing that consumers are ready or are looking for immune health benefit in their day-to-day products, in their comfortable product. So they are looking at having product that can help them to maintain the immune health benefit on the daily basis. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and looking forward to your question during the Q&A.
Really great, and there are many questions there as well. So I would like to welcome Jane and the Genny all together. Join us to be the speaker again. Show the microphone camera. together at the same time to cover those questions. So let's give a chance to a little time to them. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Great presentation a while
Thank
ago.
you very
Yeah,
much.
you
Thank
didn't show the
you.
face at all, but now you show the face to the audience. So let's go to the Q&A. So I would like to invite all of you to take a look at the first question. I pick the first question for you. Whether Jenny or Jane, which one of you from Kerry to want to answer the
I'll
first
be answering this question.
Okay, Jane, let's go.
Okay, thank you. So for this question is, as manufacturer, how can a partner like Kerry help us stay ahead of consumer trends, which are quickly evolving into today's new normal? So I think that is a really, really good question because the market is moving at God speed right now. So what we do have is that we have a proprietary 360 approach when it comes to staying ahead of trends or even helping our customers stay ahead of trends. So this 360 approach is that we uses the basic like your market intelligence, customer industry intelligence, and this is combined with some of our own proprietary method like our experiential insight. So that is like your consumer insight, the proprietary studies that we actually do with some of the selected consumers in selected area. So this is combined with one of our own proprietary tool, which is known as Transporter. So Transporter is actually, we work together with IBM Watson. So this particular tool can help us to predict trends. So what is going to happen in the next few months to come when it comes to this particular space itself. So recently we have also acquired a new tool called Neurosensory. So we know that everybody love functional food, but taste is still something very, very important. So this Neurosensory is actually to detect whether consumer truly like your profile and whether they truly believe in this particular function when it comes to this particular food. So it's a really good tool that helps to remove all biasness that you currently see in any sensory tool right now. So this is what we say a 360 approach to help you to come up with concepts and help you to actually stay ahead of the trends as well. Yeah.
I see, of course. Do you have anything to say as well, Jenny?
No. Okay, I think Kian covered very well that aspect of communication and marketing.
Yeah, it's a bit deep. I hope that answered your questions in the chat box as well. We will welcome more questions to come. Anyway, Jenny and Jane, please let's go to the next question, shall we?
Sure. So I will take this question, Jack. So let me read the question. In Asia, many traditional ingredients are used for immunity, example, turmeric, honey, etc. How does Kerry see the opportunity to combine the use of traditional ingredients and Wellmune in beverage to capture this? Okay, good. First of all, thank you very much for the great questions. I mean, very interesting one. I would like to say that in my view, if there's a region in this world that very embrace this say of Hippocrates, we say that let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. We say that Asia is really the region which has adopted that. And therefore, we have in our region a lot of traditional ingredients and a lot of traditional food that are perceived by consumers as healthy and are taken on a regular basis by consumers. So for me, I would say that when it's come to health and wellness product, consumers has become very sophisticated because they are now well educated. They have access to a lot of information, etc. And now the demand for health and wellness is becoming holistic. Approach. They don't ask for one-dimension product, they ask for multi-dimension product. So they are not satisfied anymore with health and wellness product that deliver a physical health, good for my body, but they now want also a product that deliver a mental health, my emotional health and make me feel good. And even now, it's getting more and more important is also a product that is healthy for my physique, my mental, but also for my planet. Sustainability. So very holistic approach. So for Kerry, we see this as an opportunity to come back to the the traditional ingredients like turmeric, honey, etc., to combine with Wellmune. And here we define this approach as what we call a healthy halo anchor hero approach, where, you know, when you design a product, you will formulate with an ingredient that is perceived as healthy. So let's say, for instance, if you look at a product that deliver immune health benefits, you know, turmeric, honey, oranges, so citrus, black garlic, etc., are perceived as healthy. So consumers will already be attracted by this product because they already perceive it as a healthy one. Then you anchor your formulation with a back science ingredients like Wellmune to deliver the benefit that they perceive it as good. So in that case, you will deliver to the consumers a holistic product that not only is perceived as good, but is also delivering that. So that is the holistic approach. So an example of product in the market, you know, like an RTD tea with a lemon flavored, but fortified with Wellmune, you know, lemon flavored, so vitamin C. Then when consumer take that, you have the science-backed Wellmune to deliver that as well. So for us, it's a great opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, it's a long one. And quietly, okay, I hope that covered the question. Because of the time issue, let's cover the last one question, okay?
Yeah. Okay, very quickly one. So that one, I will also take that. Can Wellmune be used in all type of applications, and does it have any taste impact in finished product formulation? So again, thank you very much for the question. So Wellmune is delivered in a powder format, and yes, it can be used in all type of applications, whether it's a solid, liquid, beverage, heat treated or not. Wellmune is a very stable ingredient. We do have stability tests to demonstrate that it's it doesn't degrade through the heat process like UHT, etc. And because of the when you have in the final formulation, you have taste, you have flavors inside, you have the other raw material inside. Wellmune doesn't impact the taste of the product or even the texture, the appearance. So that is the beauty of the product, is that you can easily formulate, integrate it in your product without affecting your taste profile. Thank you.
Great. Because of the time issue, we have a last minute question from the audience. Maybe you could take time, 1 minute to answer that as well, to cover those.
Sure. So I think
there's one more question coming. The last one.
Yeah, I saw that. So it's also for me. May I know the minimum daily intake of Wellmune to achieve the optimum function? So yeah, thank you very much for this question. Great question. So the daily intake, this is based on the science, based on the clinical research that we have on Wellmune. It's a 250 milligram per day for adults, and for children we have between 35 milligram to 100 milligram per day, and all this is backed by the clinical research that has been demonstrated the health benefits. Thank you.
All right. In the chat box, there are people saying, well explained, Jenny. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, because of the time issue, really sorry, we have to end this session right now. Sure. So, dear speakers, remember, you can also go to the chat box and have connection with those people, all right?
Thanks a lot, Jack. And
all right, I have to say goodbye to all of you. Welcome to join our future events. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, it's great, huh? From our very first presentation sessions, we have great discussion already. So let's jump to the next one. Okay. Our next, thank you for those insightful presentation before. And now let's go to Christer Hansen. From functional beverages, now we move to the topic of plant-based food. The next session from Mr. Ross Crittenden, the Senior Director of Plant-Based Culture of Christer Hansen. He will talk about one of the latest ingredients from his company, Vega Cultures, as a game changer for fermented plant-based products. A warm welcome to Mr. Crittenden.
Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ross Crittenden, and I'm the Senior Director for Commercial Development for Plant-Based Cultures at Christer Hansen. Of course, Christer Hansen is one of the world's largest suppliers of solutions in cultures and enzymes for the food industry, as well as microbial solutions for the human health, plant health, and animal health sectors. I'm going to talk to you specifically today about a new range of plant-based cultures. I'm based in the Nordics, and that's just why I have a lovely Finnish lake behind me. But my background is in microbial physiology, where I did a PhD at the University of Queensland in Australia before working in research and development at CSIRO at VTT in Finland, and then working more in commercial roles in the dairy industry before joining Christian Hansen 2 years ago. So, of course, plant-based milks are nothing new in Asia, and there's a long history of use, of course, of soy milk and other plant-based products. But for Western markets, there has been, over the past decade in particular, a consumer swing towards more flexitarian diets. That is, people want to consume more plant-based proteins and fats in their diet and less of the traditional animal-based products. If we look at the dairy industry, for example, in the US, plant-based milks now account for more than 10% of the consumed drinking milk products. Following quickly behind that are other dairy alternative categories like yogurt and cheese. Of course, fermentation plays a key role in these categories, and what we have done is look at developing cultures that can really handle the complexity of different plant bases that are used to produce these type of products. And to give you an example of what that looks like, if we look at the variation and the complete array of different plant-based proteins that are used, you can see that there's a range of different grains, a range of different nuts, and also legumes and pulses. Increasingly, also consumers are wanting to have products that have a good nutritional profile, so some of the protein sources like oat are augmented with soy, or you might get blending of coconut into pea protein, etc., to provide a various mix. So what that means is that there's an increasing complexity of the bases that are being used, which of course from a microbial fermentation perspective puts a great deal of pressure on a culture to be able to handle this diversity of different substrates to be able to do fermentation. So of course cultures can bring a lot to both dairy alternatives and to meat alternatives, and specifically today, as I said, I'll focus on the dairy alternatives. If we look at the fermentation sector of the dairy alternative segment, plant-based yogurts are by far the biggest segment within there, with a lot of consumer interest now also in plant-based cheese. We tend to use the word vegan to describe plant-based yogurts because plant-based alternative to dairy yogurt is quite a sentence compared to just having a single word for the category. So when you hear me talking about vegans throughout the presentation, this is what I mean. And we have some nice examples here of the different types of products that are present in the market. So we have been producing cultures for this market since the end of 2017, and really we have learnt what are the major consumer drivers and what are the producer needs behind these types of products. So certainly taste and texture, as in any category, this is a major driver for consumers and actually a major barrier for many consumers entering the plant-based area. If you're used to consuming dairy yogurts and then you suddenly come across to vegans, there's a taste challenge that still exists, let's say, in the market to be able to have the type of experience that consumers are demanding. Health is still the major consumer driver for people choosing these products, followed closely by sustainability. Producer needs are as they are for the dairy industry, so robust and consistent fermentation with low post-acidification and, of course, the ability to keep the cell counts in the product throughout the shelf life. This explains really the dilemma in developing new cultures, and that is in the dairy segment, milk is pretty much milk in every application and in every region of the world. But when it comes to the plant-based arena, you have all of these different plant bases that the cultures have to be able to ferment consistently and robustly. And then the fermentation outcome, of course, is different depending on those different base materials that you have. So it really becomes a case that every producer has a unique base composition or a unique recipe for their white mass that needs to be fermented. Our philosophy, therefore, has been to go back and not translate dairy cultures, but to go back into our world's largest collection of microbes. So we have more than 40,000 different strains in our culture collection, and select those that are able to perform very well on that wide range of different plant bases. So we have specifically developed these cultures for their ability to ferment in plant bases. That makes them easy and reliable. You don't have to worry about the performance in the plant base, no matter what recipe you put together. We, of course, wanted to also have a culture kit that speaks to those major consumer drivers of taste, of health, and sustainability, and to give you, therefore, the ability to mix and match cultures to speak to these major consumer drivers and differentiate products. And, of course, we want to work very closely with our customers, as we always do in all of the segments in which we work. So this is the culture kit that we have created. I will go through each one of these segments in turn, looking at taste and texture, at health and sustainability. But we have these different cultures, and the idea of this culture kit, as I was alluding to earlier, is that you can mix and match the various cultures here. So if you want a particular type of taste and texture, but you also want probiotics in that culture, and you have a problem with yeast and molds affecting, and you need to improve the sustainability and reduce waste of those products, then you can mix and match the various cultures and combine them into a culture that will work in your particular product. So we wanted to make it simple for you to take the hassle out of selecting cultures, so you don't have to specifically select a culture that's going to work on soy or a different one that works on coconut, and what happens if you put soy and coconut together. So we've tried to make it as simple as possible, as this diagram shows, that these cultures will work across that wide range of different plant bases and, of course, blends of those different plant bases. So first, if I look at the taste and texture, and what we've done is divide it into this quadrant that makes it simple to be able to select the type of taste and texture that you're looking for. So on the left-hand side, we have quite mild cultures that are relatively simple in composition in Vega Mild, Classic, and Premium. And on the right-hand side, where we have Vega Vibe and Vega Harmony, much more complex cultures that bring a more complex acidity to your products. We have, in addition to those, a range of flavor adjuncts that can be used to also tailor taste to specific plant bases. In the vertical axis, we have at the bottom regular texture products, and a really great new innovation in these cultures is their ability to produce really creamy mouthfeel across that wide range of cultures. So now you can select cultures with either mild or more intense acidity, and also regular and higher texture by selecting the culture that you need for your specific base. Where we look at the type of fermentation performance, you can see that you get very good fermentation times, very low post-acidification, particularly with those milder cultures, which is the type of profile that you're looking for. If we look at the difference in the taste, and in this case, we have a Vega Premium, so it's one of the milder cultures, up against Vega Vibe, and looking at just this attribute about its acidity, you can see consistently a difference between the green bars and the dark blue bars here of the Vega Vibe on those various bases, whether it be oat, coconut, pea, or soy. You get this really difference in the type of acidity that you're getting consistently across these different bases. When we look at texture as well, on the left-hand side, we have the rheological measurements of the texture that's being produced, and on the right-hand side, the sensory attributes when the consumer panel has tasted these products. And certainly we get a lot more texture with these texturizing cultures that are producing a lot of EPS into the fermentation medium, and being able to really produce this beautiful creamy texture that is very easily perceived by the sensory panel. If we move on to health, of course, we have at Christian Hansen the world's best documented probiotics, particularly in Bifidobacterium BB12 and Lactobacillus LGG. So we have been looking at incorporating those into plant-based products in a culture that makes it simple to be able to use and ensures that the cell count throughout the shelf life is at the level providing the anticipated health benefits. So what we've done is incorporated a culture with Vega Nutrish, either BY101 with BB12 or GY101 with LGG, where we combine the health attributes of the probiotics with the performance of the starter culture to make it simple. So it enables you to have a single bag solution and ensure that you've got the required cell count throughout the shelf life. As you can see in this diagram, where we've monitored the stability of viable BB12 and LGG throughout shelf life in the vegates, and you can see very consistent cell counts throughout shelf life. And we see the same thing on a very wide range of the different plant bases. And finally, around sustainability and quality, of course, as in the dairy industry, you can have problems with yeast and molds depending on the factory that the production is being undertaken in. And we see the same sorts of issues occurring in plant-based products as well. And like in dairy, where you can have cultures that are able to inhibit the growth of yeast and molds through a competition mechanism, we can see the same thing in the plant-based arena. The specific thing that is required, though, with this fresh Q culture is to have one that works specifically in plant bases. We know the major mechanism of action in dairy is actually the culture growing and sequestering manganese. And it takes manganese out of the milk, which denies that nutrient to the yeast and molds and therefore prevents the growth through a competition mechanism. In plant bases, there's a lot of manganese, so the team had to go back and really select a culture that was able to work against yeast and molds in plant bases specifically. And this is the type of outcome that they have seen. So in this case, an example in molds across a wide range of different bases, showing the difference between fermentation with a reference without the fresh Q culture and then fermentation with the fresh Q culture, really preventing the growth of molds across these different bases. We see that sometimes there is a base specific tendency on the efficacy of the fresh Q, so sometimes it does not work, but in general we see very good effectiveness against yeast and very good effectiveness against molds. So this enables our producers to be able to really speak about the improved sustainability of these products, which of course is one of the major consumer drivers. So preventing spoilage, getting better quality products, and reducing food waste throughout the whole supply chain. So finally, it's all about working together, and we work very closely with our customers, no matter which segment we're working in. And it's particularly important in the plant-based area where, of course, every base is unique. So we work very closely with our customers in helping them to develop their products and ensuring that the fermentation step works very effectively for them. We work in a range of different ways with customers, so we have flexible partnerships where we either have range cultures, we can make bespoke customized cultures, we do contract manufacture of proprietary cultures, and in some cases we also do co-development where people might have their own cultures and we can mix them with our strains also to produce an optimum outcome. We're using ecosystems to accelerate our development, and that is working very closely with other players in other segments of the supply chain. A good example is Mista, which is based in San Francisco, where we're working very closely with Ingredient, AAK, and Givaudan to co-develop the best-in-class plant-based yogurts, bringing the best expertise and the best ingredients from these different companies and really playing around the same table. So it's a great way of accelerating our innovation. We, of course, have our own models to be able to look at the effect of culture on optimizing the base composition. reducing the amount of stabilizer in the product, for example, improving the clean label, and of course reducing costs. And then looking at new approaches to consumer innovation. One of our newest staff members is David Silver, who is a chef by training, has been working in Noma in Copenhagen, which has been consistently voted the best restaurant in the world. It has a fermentation kitchen, and he has been in there really using fermentation and fermentation experimentation with customers in the restaurant, and now applying that really consumer-focused application of fermentation also to this new area, alongside our more traditional scientific approaches. So in conclusion, Vega is a new range of cultures for plant-based applications that deliver great taste, great texture, flexibility to be able to choose the type of taste and texture that you want, and of course combine that with probiotics and fresh Q sustainability to be able to really differentiate your product in the market. And of course, we want to work very closely with you because we believe that we're better and of course faster together.
That's great presentation, Mr. Ross Crittenden. Let's give him a few moments. He's come back from the woods to indoors to answer the live Q&A for us. Okay, great. That's a real jungles right there. I mean, not jungles, the woods. Beautiful words. Oh, I like your coffee.
Yeah, I've had to move indoors. It's started to rain outside, but yeah, I'm in the Nordic countryside in the birch forests. Yep.
That's really great. I just published the first questions for you. Maybe we could just jump to the live Q&A for the audience.
Okay, thanks very much. The first question is, which plant bases do you see as the most common being used to produce dairy alternatives, and how does it vary between different regions of the world? And thanks, this is a question we get often. So what do we see in different markets, and what is the most common plant base? Certainly it does vary between different markets. We see that in Asian markets where there's a long tradition of use of soy, that soy still dominates. In Western markets, there's not a lot of new launches with soy. In fact, I would say that coconut and oat are the dominant bases. There's still quite a lot of soy yogurt in Europe because of Alpro and some other brands, particularly in the French market, using soy. But new launches tend to be in more oat, in coconut. We see the emergence of pea protein in particular now entering the market because of the supply reliability, the good functionality in these types of products. And it is then being blended with oat protein, for example, to improve the functionality and the nutritional profile of those sort of proteins. So it varies between different markets, but I would say really oat, pea and coconut are the emerging trends.
So I would like you to please pick the next questions if you can.
So if I would look, what is the,
on the right-hand side,
the biggest? Yes,
right.
okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge in making great plant-based products and to make them taste good, I think there's two challenges when you come in with plant bases. The first one is that in many cases you get a lot of what do we call vegetable or green notes
sorry,
coming
just a moment. Are you just answering the question? What is the biggest challenge in making plant-based product?
Yes, exactly. So
you have to click the published one. So see in the center area, the audience can see it.
Okay, all right. Now I can see it. I couldn't see it before. Thanks.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
So the biggest
proceed.
challenge in making plant-based products taste good, as I was talking about. So two challenges. One is the off notes coming in from the flavor. Coming from the plant bases themselves, and what we see is fermentation is able to cover, and there is a biotransformation of some of those beanie notes, for example, in soy or in pea protein. So we can get cultures that can remove those types of off notes. And then the second point is trying to produce nice flavor and move it in different directions in the plant bases. We see that our cultures can differentiate plant-based flavors quite a bit. We have customers asking us to try to make very much dairy flavors, so they want to have a plant-based product that tastes like a dairy yogurt. At the moment, I would say that's still a work in progress. So we can make very nice tasting flavors, but getting it to taste exactly like dairy is still a major challenge. All right.
That's really amazing. So please pick the next question.
So the next one I can see is, how does the bioprotection culture work in plant-based products, and how is it labeled? Yeah, so we have done a lot of work on the bioprotection culture in dairy to really understand the mechanism of action, and we know that the culture has to be alive, and so if you kill the culture, then you don't get that bioprotection effect. So it's about a competition mechanism. So it's not just that it's producing some sort of antimicrobial. It really is the fact that it is denying nutrients to other to yeast and molds and contaminating bacteria in the mix. And we see the same in the meat area as well, where we can inhibit the growth of not only spoilage but also pathogenic bacteria like Listeria. And it is, again, through this competition mechanism. So in dairy, we understand that it's all about taking manganese out of the milk. And so the yeast and molds that need manganese in order to grow don't have this nutrient available, and so they don't grow in the milk. In plant bases, we don't understand yet the exact mechanism of how they work. All that we know is that if you take a dairy bioprotection culture and try to grow it in the plant base and have the same effect, that it doesn't work. So the team has had to go back and really screen for efficacy using a whole bank of different cultures until they found one that was able to work in the plant bases. So it has been successful, and the team can also do challenge tests in a customer's base. So if a customer has a unique base, they can send that to us, and we will do the challenge tests against a whole bank of yeast and molds that we've been collecting from factories producing plant-based products. And we can see that there is efficacy in the plant-based before we go into customer trials.
See it. Very interesting. So I guess pretty much we cover everything. There are some more questions there. Would you like to answer those or not? Because our time is actually pretty much the same. So if you want, you can still answer that.
I can see the last one here, which is about how does the culture work when there's no lactose in plant-based products. So
no sugar.
One I can. Yeah, so there is sugar in the plant bases, but it's not lactose, of course. So there's no dairy ingredients in here. So what we've done is go back into our culture collection and find lactic acid bacteria that are able to utilize the sugars that are present in plant bases. And often we see that because there's starch in the plant bases and there's enzymatic processes using amylases in the production of the plant bases, that there's available glucose and maltose. In other plant bases, there's available sucrose. So those sugars tend to be present in most of the plant bases. So the bacteria are able to grow on those, but it is something that where we've had to go back and really select strains that are able to grow well in the plant bases and then combine them together into cultures that work. And we do see that strains that work very well in the dairy industry, when we put them into plant bases, they don't work, or they don't work synergistically with each other in the same way. So it's really about going back, fundamentally finding strains, selecting, building cultures that work again across this wide range of diverse bases.
I see. Okay. In the list, we have 2 more questions coming. So if you want, you can try to see if you want to cover it or not.
Yes, sure. The next one's about nutrients like calcium in the formulation.
I'll publish that one.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, the last one is from Genny.
Okay,
one of our speakers.
All right, thanks. So I'll take this one about calcium. So yes, we see a lot of customers formulating their base adding calcium. to the base because consumers are expecting to see that type of nutrient in a plant base, and of course plant bases often being deficient in calcium compared to dairy, so they are often fortified, not always, but in many cases they are fortified in calcium. All right, and then from Genny, are the Vega cultures still from the L. bulgaricus and S. thermophilus or other strains? So we have built the sort of mild cultures using those traditional dairy types species because our customers have been asking to reflect the bulgaricus and thermophilus, so those traditional dairy yogurt cultures. But in our more I guess intense flavored cultures, so we start to think about the plant bases more like wine rather than dairy, if you like. So you start looking at a Merlot versus a very complex Shiraz. So you build that complexity with a more complex culture, and there we start using a range of other species as well, still from the lactic acid bacterial family or with bifidobacteria as well, also bringing a much more complex flavor to the plant base, and they're particularly good at masking those types of off flavors coming in from the protein. We also look at aromatic yeasts, so we have a lot of work going on looking at the tremendous fruity flavors that you can get with some yeast without producing any alcohol or gas. So you can have the yeast in there, produce amazing fruity flavor, not have gas formation, have zero alcohol, and it's a new innovation that they're working very hard on getting out into our customers.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ross. Because of the time, I guess that's stop right there for your session.
All right, thank you very much.
Very interesting, and creating the plant-based food. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hope to see you in our next event. Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye.
See you then. Bye.
All right. It's me again. So let's go back to the agenda. Anyway, this is really interesting. For delegates, don't hesitate to connect with Ross Crittenden for more discussion, many interesting, insightful further discussion if you want. Now moving along to our next presentation. Our next presentation, the fourth speaker, Mr. Arianto Mulyadi, is the Director of Corporate Communication and Sustainability of PT Indesso Aroma. He will explain to us how botanical extracts are used as food ingredient related to the needs for a healthier lifestyle. Let's take a listen. Welcome, Mr. Arianto. To us, I would like to remind everyone, every dear delegate, in the chat box, yes, you can ask your questions, raise your question, raise your hand at any time. Our helper or me will cover that at every second. So don't forget, seize your chance to ask questions to our speakers. They will answer them in person later. Okay, Arianto, you have the floor now.
Good day. First of all, I would like to introduce the company where I have been working for 20 years. Indesso is well known as the world leader of clove oil and Indonesian essential oils, including their derivatives, and a prominent manufacturer of ingredients for various industries such as food, flavoring, fragrances, aromatherapy, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. We provide a broad range of natural-based ingredients like essential oils, aroma chemicals, extracts, and seasonings. Today, I will share some of our botanical extracts. My presentation will mention several botanical materials which are abundant in Southeast Asia, especially Indonesia. Indonesia's large biodiversity provides opportunities to meet global demand on botanical extracts. Some functions of botanical extracts in the food and beverage applications and several extraction methods within our capability will be discussed. With its tropical climate and rich biodiversity, Indonesia indeed has abundant arable fertile soils with tremendous potential. It was also primary reason of the Europeans fought over islands in Indonesia in the past. Besides the renowned reputations as the spices and herbs-based growers, Indonesia also has an important role in the food and beverage industry such as cocoa, coffee, tea, and vanilla grower. For several hundred years, cocoa, coffee, tea, and vanilla have been global commodities. The seeds were sown by the colonialists and the colonists in the New World colonies to provide them with more commodities to offer to the world food and beverage industries. Cocoa and vanilla were used as secret ingredients of the Aztec people in their sacred drinks. Tea was founded in China, and coffee was brought by Arabians from its origin in Africa. All of them had been cultivated by Dutch rulers in archipelago, which later on called as Indonesia. No wonder Indonesia is among the biggest grower of cocoa, coffee, tea, and vanilla. In the past, these botanical ingredients were added naturally as food and beverage ingredients without sophisticated technology. People traditionally infused the botanical materials in water or alcohol to get the soluble compounds. As food beverage industry evolves, the need for higher quality and more efficient ingredients has driven innovation in extraction methods. This illustration shows several extraction methods which have been developed. There are mechanical pressings or expressions, distillation with water, steam, or water and steam, fractionations, polar and non-polar solvent extractions, supercritical fluid extraction with carbon dioxide, wave vibration, pressurized hot solvent, water, or others. By definition, botanical extracts is a substance made by extracting part of botanical biomass. Botanical biomasses contain volatile and non-volatile compounds, which can be extracted by the extraction methods mentioned in the slides before. A greener method, such as supercritical fluid extraction with carbon dioxide at relatively mild critical points or at 73 atmosphere and 31 degrees Celsius of liquid and gas stages, has many benefits. This method is beneficial for obtaining active ingredients with authentic results without leaving harmful residues. Supercritical carbon dioxide extracts have a distinct, more complete profile than those achieved from other solvent extraction methods. The process is eco-friendly. Indesso also develops wave vibration extraction and pressurized hot solvent extraction methods to increase the yield of active ingredients in the botanical biomasses. These many ways of extraction show just how vital botanical extracts are for the modern food and beverage industry. They need authentic flavoring ingredients containing natural extracts from botanical origins. A flavorist needs to use the cocoa extract to create a good chocolate flavored drink with fewer sediments, which is not accessible when using cocoa powder. To have a natural claim of vanilla ice cream, the producer must include vanilla extracts as one of the ingredients. Brewing tea is not an efficient production system for producing industrial ready-to-drink beverages. We need tea extracts to standardize the quality and increase efficiency. Special roasting techniques and extraction of single origin coffee give differentiation in the final food and beverage products. Other than its function as a flavoring agent, it is interesting to learn that within the past few years, the use of botanical extracts for non-flavoring purposes has also gained popularity. The industry also looks for their functional benefits. For example, the antioxidant properties from the polyphenols found in green tea and green coffee. Researchers have also found that the botanical compounds of chlorogenic acids found in green coffee and EGCG or epigallocatechin gallate found in green tea both can enhance the slimming effect. These new market segments have coined new terms like nutraceuticals, cosmeceuticals, nutri-cosmetics, a cross-segment between food, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. The COVID-19 pandemic has more than ever changed the consumer behavior to become more aware of their health and wellness. The health management trend for 2020 reported that adult consumers are most concerned about health and wellness. Eating a healthy diet, getting regular exercising, and good quality sleep. Based on mental data, the currently most popular claim used by the food and beverage industry are products with the concept of promoting health and wellness, which is containing natural ingredients and being convenient to use. Even long before the pandemic, in 2018, 27% of global product launches used botanical or herbal functional claims, with these categories of products also experiencing the fastest growth within the past 4 years. 1/5 of global product launches claim to be beneficial to functional health, wellness, and natural botanical derivation. In the Asia Pacific, stress-releasing products that capitalize on aiding mood boosting and relaxation have quickly risen in popularity. It is no surprise that the food and beverage industry focus their campaigns on the categories of being naturally produced, containing natural ingredients, promoting relaxations and brain health, having antioxidant properties, and improving digestive function. As a prominent food and beverage ingredient manufacturer, Indesso captures the ongoing trend and commits to providing high-quality products with sustainable natural-based ingredients that come with beneficial properties. To offer you a glimpse of our extraction capability, please watch the following video. You can see in the video, besides extraction equipments, we have spray drying equipments. Indesso developed Naturate, a double encapsulation technology utilizing matrices to protect the delicate materials from oxidation and other external factors such as temperatures, light, and humidity. Spray drying is the most common drying technology which can produce high-quality products without losing active ingredients while maintaining microbial safety. Naturate encapsulates natural extracts of herbs, spices, flowers, and fruits. The powders typically have a long shelf life up to 2 years, and it is water soluble. One of the product highlights from Naturate is Gingerate, based on red or fresh ginger extracts and oil. Ginger which is categorized as rhizomes, has long been known for having myriads of functional benefits, especially red ginger. It is used as medicinal plants as well as cooking ingredient. Ginger is good for treating digestive problems, nausea, reducing blood sugar, boosting body immunity, and preventing cardiovascular diseases such as heart attack and stroke. The application of ginger arte in food and beverage product also allows the producers to put a natural claim in their labeling. Following are figures of the Indonesia Statistic Bureau related to production of medicinal plant in Indonesia. We can see that ginger is among the top medicinal plants produced in Indonesia. You can also see that there are many other rhizomes in the list of Indonesian medicinal plants. To mention a few, they are turmeric, Java cardamom, and galangal. Though ginger is the main focus now, Indonesia offers abundant potential plants to be further developed in the future. We will continuously work on our corporate mission to create innovative solutions with sustainable natural-based ingredients for life. Indesso, with its diverse product portfolio, offers solutions for our clients, especially in facing pandemic challenges. After all, nature itself is the best physician. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you for your attention.
Now, would you please welcome back to the scene to us? Yeah, I'll give you a few seconds to take a rest. Yeah, please come back with us and let's cover those questions asked in the attendee list. Hi. Welcome. Great presentation. It's just like a movie. It's really great enjoy.
Thank you.
So let's go to the Q&A. I'll open the floor for you to pick up the first question. If you remember how, just go to the right-hand side Q&A mode. Yep, pick the questions if you can to answer.
Wait a second.
Do you find it? Or I can do it for you.
Questions? Wait a second.
Yes?
Okay.
What about this answer, this one?
Yes.
You see the question now in center area?
Yes, I can see. So
okay, please read the question and start answering.
What are the differences between instant coffee, coffee extract, and green coffee extracts? Okay. Oh. To explain this, I need to show you our brochures, our flyers. So.
Of course. Yeah. I remember you sent it to me before, right? Okay, let's see if we can find out the resource.
Okay.
Which page you want? The coffee page?
The coffee page, and can you zoom it out? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So you can see there are charts of production flow charts which Indesso can offer to the customers, the food and beverage industry. So we don't mention any instant coffee there, but we mention green coffee and roasted coffee. So instant coffee is actually made by the beverage company or food company for its solubility. So it means that if you pour in the hot water, it's instantly soluble. And it is a mass production with a technology of, if I'm not mistaken, it is a percolation followed by spray drying or freeze drying. So what Indesso's doing is we offer either green coffee or roasted coffee extraction and other process. So why we differentiate between green and roasted coffee? It's because of the purpose. The purpose, if instant coffee purpose is for solubility mainly, and the coffee itself, the flavor and the function of the coffee as beverage is ingredient beverage is just for the beverage ingredients. For the green coffee, you can claim or mention a benefit of a healthy slimming, for example, because of the active ingredient chlorogenic acid is high in green coffee. So we can produce or isolate the chlorogenic acids by extraction and then followed by spray drying. Meanwhile, when you extract the roasted coffee, it is usually used for flavor purpose. So you cannot get the complete profile of a coffee flavor when you just only use instant coffee. You need variations of technology like we show you in this chart, that we can do the grinding, extraction, unique steaming process to get the coffee oil, even with thermal process to get a specific character of coffee, or even we do double encapsulation, that the coffee powder is not black but it's white. It's no coffee taste, but it smells very coffee. So it's I have added. We have experienced that we add the coffee arte in on top of a coffee instant. It boosts the aroma very good. So I hope that explained the answer the difference between instant coffee, green coffee extract, and coffee extracts. to get further information.
Oh, sorry, you kind of frozen now to me. Audience, dear, do you still hear the voice from Mr. Arianto? If it's yes, please answer in the chat box to me. Okay, thank you. I'll try to see if Arianto can relog in. Maybe he's taking one phone call from his side. Okay, I can see those questions coming from Beta, Sakti, and Jackie, and from Kerry too. Okay, I'll remind Mr. Arianto to cover those questions later. Okay, I get it. Thank you. Yes, I see it. Mr. Arianto Mulyadi, can you try to relog in with us? Oh, I can see him now. Okay, Arianto Mulyadi, would you please try to turn it on, the microphone and camera? I see you logging with the other account. Hello, welcome back.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Please? Yes, loud and clear now. There are many questions in the Q&A mode. However, we might don't have enough time to cover them all. Please select the next question you would like to answer the most, okay?
Okay, so can you go to the second line?
Can you publish the question by yourself, or you want me to do so for you?
Please do it for me, because I have a...
Okay, this one? Would you like to cover that one?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, wait a second. I cannot read the...
Can you see the questions now?
Okay. Why should it be double in encapsulating extracts, and what technology is being used for this method? Okay, again, I need to show this flyer about the Arte series. I send you the flyers. Can you show?
You were asking for the sorry. I was paying attention to the delegate form because they're asking questions. So you need this one?
Yep.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I would stay at this page.
Yeah, I would like to explain about the double. Why it should be double? It's because of when you do the drying process of extracts, encapsulated that one, it's not perfect. Means that you may lose some of the volatile compounds during the process because it involves high temperatures. So with the natural arte, actually is a natural art and technology. This is the abbreviation of our brand of this technology. We offer you art because of it. We need a kind of creativity to select the matrices so that we can we can put carbohydrates, various carbohydrates to combination of that one, so that it can perfectly or better encapsulating the products. And then it will be soluble in the water, but during the delivery, it will protect the ingredients, active ingredient from oxidation or from humidity and so on.
Maybe I can also zoom in a little bit for audience to take a clear look at
Yes.
this one.
And I think I will give this as a brochure so that the audience can also get this.
If you want, you can use the hyperlink as a download PDF link if you have. You can post in the chat box in the delegate platform there. Remember, so delegates will download it. But remember, subscribe the hyperlink first.
Yeah, and then the questions about the technology. Yes, we use the common one for the spray drying techniques. We do the spray drying technology.
Okay.
For this double encapsulation.
So let's go back to the question mode.
Yes.
Would you please like to cover the next questions for us?
The next question will be, which one is the preferable taste? That one?
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
I see. Interesting question. Taste or health?
Yeah. Which is more important, preferable taste or health benefits? So I try to remember one of the research in a Indonesian university. They try to ask the respondents, which is more important when you buy a beverage or a certain beverage products. I will not mention taste or others, price, packaging, health benefits, and so on. So surprisingly, the Indonesian customer prefer taste more than the others. So it means that when we offer a health benefits, we must not forget that the taste should be as good or as preferable for the customers in the market. So we cannot leave the authentic taste as a second priority. If you want to highlight the health benefit or wellness benefit, don't forget that repeat order will be more if your product have a good flavor, tasty. You will not return to the same restaurant if your first experience is bad, even though they give you promotion or discounts. So yes, taste is not the only factors of people to buy, but taste cannot be neglected. That's my answer.
Interesting. Yeah. What about let's have an actual live poll right now in the chat box, dear attendees. If you go for health or go for taste, please answer that in the chat box. We will see who is the majority. Okay, back to you, Mr. Arianto. Let's go to the next question, or maybe because of time, you can decide.
Ari,
would you like to cover those questions as well?
No, the next question is, Pak Ari, where... wait a second. I cannot show. Can you show it for me?
Oh, okay. This one is from...
Nutraceuticals. Yeah.
I covered this one, but I'm not sure. Pak Ari, is Pak Ari asking to you?
I think it's my friend. It's because usually Indonesian people ask me Pak Ari.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Because I moved this question here, but I quite don't understand this part. Okay, would you like to answer that one too?
Yeah, Pak Ari, what is the future of nutraceuticals industries in Indonesia, especially for Indesso? Is Indesso has a milestone to provide it? Of course, yes. I mentioned in the presentation before that there is a nutraceuticals, cosmeceuticals, and nutri-cosmetics segment. We find it's growing segments, and it is interesting to enter. And actually, our company has been committed to build, expand our factory. Later on, we will do some press release about that one, that we will focus on that sector. So, I mean, the nutraceutical is just one. So when we do we serve that segments, it's not only combination of nutrition and pharmaceuticals, it's come for nutraceuticals, but also nutrition and cosmetics. So for beauty ingredients or cosmetic and for pharmaceutical, for help of the anti-aging, for example. That's research and development of our company to provide the customers or our customer, the industry, ingredient with that function. That's our next plan. Not only currently we have, but we also prepare various ingredients to entertain that market. I hope that answered.
I hope that covered the answer to you, I guess. Okay, because of time issue, we can cover the last one if you want, but answer it shortly, or we can sum up today. Would you like to cover the last question?
Any other questions? Can you?
There's one more question there if you want.
Yeah, please show it to me. Oh,
sure.
Yes. What are your sustainability goals with these botanical extracts? Okay. When you talk about the botanical extract, so you talk about the botanical biomass. We know the term of circular economy. So we would like to have a kind of responsible sourcing and introduce circular economy in a way of when we do sourcing. For example, this is one of the product which already in the essential oil business we collaborate with our vendors, distillers, and so on, so that they utilize all the materials, they utilize the waste, so that there is very little waste, so that everything is circular. So we don't want to harm the environment when we produce or we extract or sourcing raw material for our extraction. So this is our goals related to the botanical extracts, mainly for the circular economy. Of course, social aspect we will not forget, because we are working with farmers. So farmer is the weakest part in the supply chain. So we have to encourage or to increase the wellness and the welfare of farmer in our country, in the sourcing area.
That's really great. Wonderful and insightful. All right, because of a time issue, I have to finish your sessions right now. And I'd like to thank you for giving us very insightful, great ideas, either in your presentation or in the live Q&A time.
Okay.
So I would like to wish you and your our Indonesian fellows to keep safe as well.
Yes.
And we hope to see you again in our next webinar series.
So welcome to our website. You can
of course. Of course, delegates. Go to their website or use the contact information, click the speaker, and have the private message or the contact information to Mr. Arianto later. Yes.
Thank you.
So Arianto, don't forget.
Thank you.
If you can, just share your files to the chat box as well to the delegates later.
Thank
All right.
you.
See you then. See you. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you for Mr. Arianto. A really great presentation. And we even have an accidentally live poll in the chat box. Thank you for all the dear attendees answer the question. I think Mr. Arianto Mulyadi will think about that later in the chat box as well after this his sessions. Or if you want further discussion, seize your chance to talk to him in person right now. Okay, let's jump to our next session. The next session, our fifth session, the last speaker in the segment is Miss Eliza Tsun. She's the regional sales manager of Roquette, a French company that also provides plant-based ingredients and vegetable proteins. Her topic is pretty straightforward. Plant-forward future is happening. Formulating with success. Let's welcome Miss Eliza Tsun. Before we start, before she log in, please let me remind everyone, ask your question in the chat box. She will be covered those questions in person later in the live Q&A part. So seize your chance. Okay, you have the floor now, Miss Eliza. See you later.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I've recently joined Roquette to support our activities in the Greater Asia region in the area of pea and new proteins. Thanks also to Ringier Events for the opportunity to speak today. I'm really looking forward to sharing our view of the plant-based movement. It's the future and it's happening right now. Roquette is a global leader of plant-based ingredients and plant proteins. We're constantly innovating to provide a wide product range and versatility to our customers. We've got more than 40 years in research in plant proteins behind us, and we are the largest pea protein supplier globally, with the addition of our Canadian processing plant due to open later this year. Today I'd like to take the opportunity to provide you with a brief introduction to Roquette. We'll talk about this plant-forward future and the challenges it can provide to all of us in the industry. We'll talk about formulating with success with neutralist pea protein. And we'll have a closer look at plant-based meat alternatives, plant-based dairy alternatives. We'll also share with you an example of what we did recently in the region in relation to a sensory demo kit that we sent out to some of our customers. And I'll be happy at the end to take a few questions if time allows. Roquette has historically been a proteins producer of protein commodities such as wheat gluten, maize gluten, which commonly goes into animal feed applications, and also potato protein, which also commonly goes into animal feed. We've had over 40 years of experience in plant protein research and production, and we've always been a pioneer in the sector of plant-based specialty proteins for food, nutrition, and health. Roquette is uniquely positioned to respond to the plant-based future revolution via our 15 years of expertise in pea processing. We've had over 90 patents in the sector of pea-based products. We process more than 600,000 metric tons of protein per year across 20 different production units, and we work with 4 different botanical origins. We'll continue to look forward with our ambitious investments in order to maintain and reinforce our leadership position and to continue to be a major player in the current global revolution. Roquette has engaged in a huge investment program to ensure that the supply of plant protein is secure, safe, and sustainable. And we continue in our drive for innovation. Our strong expertise is proven through Roquette having the largest patent portfolio in the sector of pea-based products and their applications. The pea proteins market today is a strategic pillar for us that will only strengthen Roquette's leadership by offering sustainable, nutritional, and functional solutions with high added value to our markets. Just a little bit more on the major investment that Roquette have made. We're about to complete commissioning of the world's largest pea protein plant in Manitoba, Canada. Construction began back in 2018 before COVID, and we expect to see commercial product from the plant later this year. Roquette has invested approximately €500 million in the facility, and we've located the site close to the raw material, the yellow pea, and local infrastructure, and it'll be critical in our servicing of the North American market, as well as feeding demand for pea protein globally. And as you can see from the stats in front of you, it is huge. So moving on to this plant-forward future and its challenges. Inova recently conducted a survey on current top global trends. We looked at the subset of India, China, and Indonesia in terms of the reasons why plant-based alternatives may be considered. The top response at 69% was because it's healthier. So looking at health benefits, we can say that vegetable proteins are healthier than animal sources. They can offer a complete essential amino acid profile, and where certain vegetable proteins may lack in some amino acids, you can blend different vegetable proteins together to get the perfect amino acid score. Vegetable proteins are low in calorie and saturated fat and cholesterol. They also provide a good source of fiber and are sustainably produced. In terms of how pea protein stacks up against the other proteins, pea protein ticks all the boxes. In terms of protein quality, which we measure in this case with PDCAS score, which is protein digestibility corrected amino acid score, bit of a mouthful. Pea protein also has no major allergen declaration required. It does not have any intolerance agents, contaminants, or anti-nutritional factors either. Pea protein is sourced from non-GM crops, and it's produced via a safe process. So Neutralist pea protein is one of the safest and cleanest proteins on the market. Neutralist pea protein is also the first protein supported by clinical trials to assess its performance in muscle mass development and satiety management. Results have demonstrated that Neutralist is as good as dairy proteins for muscle mass development and weight management. In terms of muscle mass development, in addition to appropriate training, Neutralist pea protein promoted a significant increase of the muscular mass as compared with the placebo in a population presenting moderate muscle strength. As far as satiety and caloric intake is concerned, Neutralist pea protein induced a significant decrease of the caloric intake consumed during the ad libitum, or on-demand, meal, which was down by 11%. Apologies, just scrolling through the slides. Okay. Back to that survey by Inova, the number 2 reason for choosing plant-based over conventional was the variety it can bring to the diet. And the third reason, the top 3 reason, was around sustainability. So we can talk a little bit more about sustainability. Okay, so why pea when thinking about sustainability? Let's look at the pea crop and its agricultural impacts. Based on data from France, which is where our first pea protein facility is located and where we source our raw materials, pea production demands significantly less water when compared to bovine meat and also soy production. The CO2 emissions from pea crops is also low, and the land use is much less than bovine meat and lower than sunflower and soy. Today, 80% of our French pea protocol volumes are certified as sustainable. And the number 4 reason for choosing plant-based alternatives was that it tastes better. So achieving taste and texture that appeals is important. So how can Roquette help? The Neutralist pea protein range brings a family of functionalities. Process differences are needed to make our different specialty proteins. For example, correct process control allows us to obtain good solubility and good binding, or gelling power, of the pea protein. By adjusting the fineness of the powder, we can impact dispersibility and also mouthfeel and taste. The protein can also be textured to give it a fibrous appearance close to the texture of meat, or it can be puffed to provide crispiness for snack applications. It can also be slightly pre-digested by digestive enzymes, such as within the human body, to allow it to be more quickly and easily assimilated for sports recovery and for more sensitive people. Neutralist makes it possible for our customers to develop new foods that are contributing to the renaissance of a whole new gastronomy that consumers are hungry to explore. This new cuisine brings new tastes, new textures, new healthy and sustainable options. Thanks to our well-known expertise in food applications, We have been able to customize Nutrilis to the different functional and nutritional requirements of various food segments. The Nutrilis pea protein range is a range of plant protein ingredients derived from peas and more recently fava beans. At this present time, we've got a textured vegetable protein that's derived from fava beans. The result is a trusted, clean tasting and nutritious high quality protein. The range offers dedicated and easy to use ingredients suitable for a wide range of applications. Sustainability, value-added functionalities, and nutritional benefits are part of the Nutrilis solution. Today, we have more than 10 plant protein ingredients that can be applied to different applications depending on the functional and nutritional needs. Nutrilis can be applied in dairy-free applications such as RTD drinks, fermented milks, frozen dessert, non-dairy coffee creamers, and analog cheese. Can also be utilised in plant-based meat in formats such as meatballs, bolognese, burger patties, nuggets, sausages, spreads, dips, pâtés. Within baking and snacks, we're talking about breads, biscuits and crackers, cakes and pastries, cereals, extruded snacks, pasta and protein bars. Within specialised nutrition, we're talking about products such as high protein powder mixes, RTD drinks, energy gels, protein bars, crisps and extruded snacks. Okay, and apologies. So having a closer look at plant-based meat alternatives then. Roquette can provide a range of solutions to the current generation of meat analogues, which can be in the forms of restructured, structured and emulsified products. First, we'll consider plant-based emulsified products, which will be mostly an emulsion of vegetable fat with plant-based proteins, stabilised with a binding system. The Nutrilis F85 grades are suitable for emulsified plant-based meats, as they have a high water and fat holding capacity. So if you have a look at the graph, you can see that more than 5 grams of water can be bound per gram of protein, and more than 2 grams of fat can be bound per gram of protein. F85 grades also have a high emulsifying capacity. What you can see is that 550 mils of oil can be emulsified per gram of protein. These figures are comparable to dairy proteins such as caseinates. A Nutrilis F85 develop a strong, smooth and stable gel after thermal treatment. This is really relevant when developing meat-like products. If sodium levels need to be minimised, you can also consider Nutrilis L85M, which is essentially the equivalent to Nutrilis F85M, has just over half the sodium content of its F85M equivalent. Nutrilis F85 pea protein has excellent technical functionalities to create a juicy bite for emulsified types of plant-based meat analogues. Next, we're going to focus on restructured meat, which is defined as an aggregation of small pieces thanks to the addition of a binding system. So we're talking about plant-based burger patties, nuggets, sausages, or meatballs within this category. The use of a dry, textured plant protein such as Nutrilis as the main structuring ingredient in combination with other ingredients like starch, insoluble fibre, and or hydrocolloids will be key to achieving a good nutritional profile and an optimal texture in the finished product. Just wait for that to load. So here we're looking at the Neutralist tea range. Our dried textured vegetable proteins are what we call our tea range. Our TVPs have a final water content of less than 10%. There are limitless possibilities for your gastronomy experience by creating with Roquette textured pea proteins. And we continue to expand the range for new tastes and textures as the plant-based meat market grows and grows. As I'm sure you're aware, the plant-based meat market is growing rapidly, and it's showing a proliferation of formats, textures, and flavors on the shelves. Our textured proteins range is designed to offer different ingredient options to answer the variety and the new eating experience being sought out by today's flexitarians. There are 3 available formats in Asia Pacific at the moment. They come in various sizes and shapes and particle sizes, and that is granules, strips, and chunks. Each of them brings a specific texture to plant-based meat analogues in terms of firmness, juiciness, or fibrousness, and it allows flexibility in the processing equipment required. So, for example, TP70G has been designed to have a smaller particle size than T70S to avoid a chopping step in your process, and it brings a nice soft texture that you need for ground meat that you might use in, say, a bolognese sauce. On the other hand, TPC offers a much larger chunk format that can provide good fibrous texture to mimic the long fibers of fish and the tenderness required in crab cake and other seafood alternatives. So just on the screen there, you can see some of the plant-based meat and seafood concept recipes developed by Roquette for your inspiration, and just another way that we support our customers in their foray into the plant-based space. And just wanted to point out that we're not just focused on what's the more mature European and US markets. We think about our customers and consumers in Asia and what will resonate with them in terms of localized recipes and formulations. So, you can see here that we've worked on a plant-based steamed Chinese dumpling, a plant-based otak, and also a Thai basil stir fry. All of these are based on Neutralist TS. As far as plant-based meat alternatives are concerned, we see limitless possibilities with what you can do with the Neutralist pea protein range. We've got the right ingredients for you to perform wet extrusion if you're after structured meats, textured pea proteins to produce restructured meats, resulting in plant-based meat alternatives that will fulfill your consumers' expectations. So we'll just move on to plant-based dairy now. Our soluble pea protein isolates are suitable for dairy alternatives. And here we're talking about Neutralist S85 and S85 Plus variants. When we consider what is needed in plant-based dairy alternatives, we're looking at dispersibility, high solubility at neutral pH, no gelling or viscosity increase after heat treatment. We're looking for emulsification capacity and stability. We need a clean and as neutral taste as possible and neutral colour. We also need stability during shelf life. So how does Neutralist pea protein isolate tick the boxes? Neutralist S85F and our Neutralist S85 Plus variants demonstrate high solubility at neutral pH, as you can see in the graph. So you've got on the right-hand side the bars depicting how soluble each of the variants are at pH 7. And you can see on the left-hand side the two Neutralist S85 Plus variants, the N and the D, and also S85F is also showing that it's more soluble than the F85F grade, which we touched on in the plant-based meat section. And there's also another grade showing there in the light blue bar, which is B85F, which is more suitable to bakery applications. At a high protein level within a 7% RTD, a 7% protein RTD, Neutralis demonstrates low viscosity and minimal changes in viscosity during shelf life. And here's some more inspiration for you when it comes to plant-based dairy alternatives. These are some of the concepts that we've come up with to provide our customers with some ideas and thought starters. Yeah. Okay, next, I'd just like to share with you a recent activity that we undertook in the Greater Asia region. As we've all been locked down for the most part, we devised a way to engage with our customers remotely. We came up with a multi-sensory experience which allowed our customers to go on a journey of discovery with Roquette's plant-based offerings. We wanted to demonstrate the value that Roquette can bring to our customers' products, and we wanted to inspire them with Asian-based recipes. So what did we show? What did we share? We provided an interactive tasting session for our customers where they could learn more about our plant-based ingredients and how they can be applied in 4 different product concepts. The first was a pandan pea drink, and we also looked at a high-fibre, high-protein crisp. And we tantalised their taste buds with a vegetarian meatball tom yum soup and a plant-based Japanese curry. The 3 demo kits were a great success, which we conducted remotely together with our customers online and stimulated ideas and discussions. So just to wrap up, Roquette's Neutralis plant proteins are the perfect plant-forward solution, providing great taste, great texture and mouthfeel, and added protein that is sustainable, clean, nutritious, indulgent, versatile, and easy to use. So thank you for your time and attention. We'd love to connect with you, so please do reach out. And also, please feel free to hop on our website and check it out. We'd love for you to explore the world of Roquette's Neutralis plant proteins further. Thank you for your time.
Hi, great presentation, Eliza. And some of our audience just text me that they love your accent. The accent is really good. So, Eliza, now please try to just turn on the microphone and camera again to join us. No, please cover the button there at the very button. There are 3 buttons, right? One for camera, the other for microphone, the other for share screen. Just turn it on the left two ones, camera and microphone. And there's nothing you need to touch at the left-hand side, all right? Just look for the button to turn it on. And there are some questions very interesting. Even one of them is quite long. They are combined with 3 questions together, I think. So, Eliza, if you have any trouble just getting back to us, to this stage, or you can private chat with me if you want. Yeah, you haven't. Oh, yeah. What kind of trouble is that? Oh, you try to relog in, right? Okay. Yeah. I see it. You try to relog it. That's fine. Delegates, dear delegates, please wait for a little longer for Eliza. Maybe she's just having some trouble with the internet. And Brendan, the leader of the planner, if you are watching this as well, please try to help Eliza, to help her to get back to our stage. Okay, let me text Brendan. Okay, now Eliza is getting back to us now. She's trying to contacting us now. So before we move on, let's go review our questions for now. We have questions like this one. I think this is a pretty good one. We're looking for Eliza to cover that. Taste remains a critical issue for pea protein in general, right? We just had a live poll that taste is really important. So how does Roquette deal with it? I really want to know how Eliza's going to cover those questions. Okay, by the way, Eliza said that she's coming back to us. So for now, let's have one informative video. And after video, we will cover the live Q&A. So stay tuned, audience. Wait for Eliza to cover those questions.
Welcome to the world of Christian Hansen. Every day, our natural products are consumed by over 1 billion people around the world. We develop solutions for the food and beverage, nutritional, pharmaceutical, and agricultural industries using natural ingredients. Innovation has been the backbone to our business for more than 140 years. Our eagerness to pioneer science means we will keep developing natural and microbial solutions for coming generations. For a future defined by natural ingredients. Working with nature's own resources, we provide safe solutions to protect the consumer at every step, from farm to fork. Join us on our journey to improve food and health for a sustainable future. Christian Hansen.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I was about to finish this problem after I played a beautiful video. Because anyway, in the agenda, we're about to play that video later. Anyway, maybe you fixed your internet problem already?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It just froze.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, even though you after the long presentation. All right, go. So let's cover the Q&A one. And later there might be a really long question waiting for you. So would you like to answer that first?
Yeah, sure. So the question is, taste remains a critical issue for pea protein in general. How does Roquette deal with it? Well, that's a really good question, and it's a real challenge for pea proteins everywhere, I think it's fair to say. But, you know, good protein solutions must definitely taste good, and it's a top priority for both our customers and also their consumers. But plant-based food and as well plant-based taste has a unique opportunity to offer consumers a new taste experience, and it's certainly the way that we see it. We've been working really, really hard at Roquette in order to develop a delicious culinary experience for our customers and their consumers to demonstrate that proteins are not only good for you, but also a source of enjoyment. That said, pea taste has its own vegetal taste identity, and pea protein has a position of its own, which consumers are developing the same sort of familiarity that they've built, you know, with soy over many, many years. I mean, I remember when I first started consuming soy-based products, and I thought it was pretty offensive personally. I'm not just saying that because I promote pea protein. But you know, through process improvement, tastes have developed and improved to a much more neutral palate. But as well as that, you know, consumers have had the chance to really get used to the taste of soy. So too are we at Roquette continually improving the taste profile of our pea proteins. At the same time, we have to remember that plant protein cannot be compared with dairy-based milk protein. Will likely struggle to get the same vanilla profile that you may do in a dairy milk-based drink. So the key, we believe, is to carve out a different positioning for pea protein such that it runs its own race and taste, so to speak.
All right. Thank you for answering the first question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So do you see the other questions? Since these ones I published for you, you can looking for the rest from the right-hand side. There's a Q&A mode, right? I prepared the list of questions for you already.
Yep, sure. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, use your mouse to click the questions. You can publish the question to the audience. Can you do that?
Oh my goodness. Jack,
it's okay. Take your time.
Many tech issues.
Yeah, there are many questions, right? Yeah, take your time.
I know, right? How about vegetable proteins and the nutritional value in comparison to animal?
This one?
Thank you, yeah. So vegetable proteins, yeah, it is. I'll try to be short. Well, not just in stature. Vegetable proteins are said to have a lower nutritional value compared to animal proteins. How do you position the nutritional values of Nutralis? Is it the same for all grades? Okay, so another really good question. So the nutritional quality of protein is, often assessed through two parameters. So the first one is protein digestibility. Thanks to the water-based patented process that Roquette employs, most of the anti-nutritional factors originally present in pea are eliminated. So what that means that all grades of Nutralis pea protein have a very high digestibility level of over 96%. The second key parameter is around the amino acid profile. So we talked about this in the presentation. Nutralis pea proteins are slightly limited in terms of sulfur amino acids, but are high in lysine. As a result, all Nutralis grades have a high amino acid score in total. But what it means in terms of the deficiencies or excess, if you like, is that, you know, it sets itself up nicely to be complementary to cereal proteins such as wheat or rice protein, which are poor in lysine but quite high in the sulfur amino acids. As we also highlighted in the presentation, Roquette has demonstrated additional health benefits of Nutralis pea protein through extensive clinical studies. So we talked about, you know, muscle mass growth, we talked about satiety, but there's also some studies around blood glucose management as well that we have on board. I hope that answers that particular question.
Sure.
Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, would you like to answer the next one if you want?
Okay, so, and yeah, really struggling to publish. Sorry, Jack.
Okay, then read the question. I can publish for you.
Yeah, what are the benefits of pea
This
protein versus soya? Yeah, that one, thank you.
Okay.
So among the plant proteins, pea appears to have the best profile. Of course it does. In fact, pea protein has more than 5% more branched chain amino acids and 16% more arginine than soy protein, which is really important, especially in applications such as sports nutrition. Unlike soy, the yellow pea protein is not a major allergen. It's derived from non-GM crops. It's extracted by a solvent-free process. Has a small eco-footprint and therefore presents a sustainable choice. The carbon footprint of pea protein is 3 times less than soy protein. Pea protein also has very low amounts of anti-nutritional factors which are responsible for digestive discomfort. Yeah, so that's the way that we see it in terms of pea protein over soy. Yeah, I think there's just one additional question there I can see in the chat box.
Yeah,
could
sure.
you please explain more about pea protein and satiety? Now, I may need to come back to the person who's asked that question separately, if you wouldn't mind getting in touch, because I can't bring up the the details of the clinical trial specifically, but basically what we're talking about is, a study whereby subjects were effectively dosed with regular portions of pea protein or not, and we measured the degree of hunger post taking the pea protein or the placebo. And effectively, we proved that Neutralist pea protein presented results of greater satiety and satisfaction in terms of hunger.
All right. So because of the time issue, you could decide maybe we could quickly answer the last question, or you can just stop right there. Because after all, we're going to have panel discussion later. It's very exciting.
Yeah, actually we have gone over, so we can address that perhaps separately on a one-on-one basis if people have got additional questions. And thank you for that, and very sorry about the tech issues.
Don't worry about that. Yeah. It's a live presentation, so that happens all the time. So to sum up, you have please make one conclusion to your presentation, and stay tuned right here. We're gonna have after a short informative video tour, and then we will come back to our panel discussion. All right, Eliza?
Yep. Well, thanks very much for your time, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend some time with you, just talking about Neutralist pea proteins and how it fits into the new plant-based gastronomy. I think you can agree that, we're well positioned to participate in your development of new products in the plant-based space. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, thank you, dear attendees. Please stay tuned, and also you too, Eliza, stay tuned. Later, we're gonna have the panel discussion. So let's look at the video for a very short time, and then I'll welcome all the speakers to come back later. So see you later, Eliza. So let's go to our video tour for now. As we just had a little beginning, so I'll just try to replay it to the very beginning.
Welcome to the world of Christian Hansen. Every day, our natural products are consumed by over 1 billion people around the world. We develop solutions for the food and beverage, nutritional, pharmaceutical, and agricultural industries using natural ingredients. Innovation has been the backbone to our business for more than 140 years. Our eagerness to pioneer science means we will keep developing natural and microbial solutions for coming generations. For a future defined by natural ingredients. Working with nature's own resources, we provide safe solutions to protect the consumer at every step, from farm to fork. Join us on our journey to improve food and health for a sustainable future. Christian Hansen, improving food and health, passionately.
We all worry about staying healthy. When we feel well, we have more energy, better mental clarity, and we're able to do what we love most. But with a busy lifestyle, healthy habits aren't always easy to stick to. So, what if there was a way to support your immune system by consuming foods, beverages, and supplements fortified with an immune-boosting ingredient found in nature? Meet Wellmune, a science-backed, natural ingredient that can help keep our immune cells ready for action. What exactly is this superhero ingredient? Wellmune is a fiber called a yeast beta-glucan that is clinically proven to help strengthen the immune system. Wellmune works by priming billions of immune cells, helping them quickly find and kill foreign invaders that may harm our health. And while you might be familiar with other beta-glucans or immune-boosting ingredients, Wellmune is one of a kind. That's because clinical research shows that Wellmune has the ability to support overall immune function, help maintain overall physical health, protect against the harmful effects of stress, promote healthy energy levels and mental clarity. Wellmune, helping you be well and stay well.
Everybody, it's me, Jack. Let me go back to my presentation slide for all of you. Now, it's very exciting, our panel discussion time. You'll be very glad to know that our next session is the panel discussion. The discussion will tackle the questions on functional food and beverage consumption in the Southeast Asia in the next few years, and how manufacturers like you can adapt to future demand. Our panelists are Mr. Ross Crittenden from Hansen, Miss Genny Tan and Miss Ying Li of Kerry Group, and Miss Eliza Tsun from Roquette. And also, we're gonna have another new guest. I will be introducing her later. So, speakers, now at your screen, you can find out the button to turn on the microphone and camera. Try to join me now. Hello, Ross. Hello, Genny. It's very great to see you there. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Yes, and we will about to have a new guest here, right? Let's wait for them. I won't join. Peichu. Okay, of course I know. Yes. Okay. So let's start our questions. So just like our live Q&A a while ago, I will publish the question one by one. So I'll just like to see if we have a great discussion later. I will point out people to answer, the speakers, or you can raise your hand if you want to give us feedback. Okay. So our first question, very exciting, is this one. Global market research say that pandemic has made a major impact on how consumers now choose their food and beverage. How significant is this trend in Southeast Asia today? Is a big question. So I believe that this big question should maybe we could go to Jane from Kerry Group. Would you like to answer this question first, Jane?
Okay, sure. Thank you, Jack. So this is a really good question. So
Yes.
we know that the COVID-19 has a great impact when it comes to how consumer has now, pick and choose their food product. So based on our own recent research, which we actually conduct every year, so 64% of the respondent in Indonesia itself said that they have actually bought a lot more functional and fortified food since COVID-19 outbreak. And 67% of the respondents in Thailand had said the same as well. So this is actually quite a significant number. So when it comes to what type of products that people are buying, so it's not rocket science. We know that they are all buying immunity product. So in fact, in Indonesia, 51% of the respondents in the past 6 months has actually increased their usage and their consumption of immunity product. So one interesting call out that we get from the consumer is definitely the consumption occasion. So this is something that we know that a lot of manufacturers would like to know, like what type of product and when do they want to consume this type of product. So what we found out quite interesting enough is that a lot of consumers prefer to have a functional food, especially immunity product in the morning. Usually during breakfast, followed by some distance, followed by some mid-morning. So this typically fall into products like juices and dairy products. So they prefer to have it in the morning to support their immune health or immune support itself. So I would say that is a lot of major impact when it comes to COVID-19, and definitely changes the way that we see functional food and changes the way we actually consume all this health product. Yeah.
Of course. Thank you for the great answer. It's very insightful. It's very interesting as well. How consumers are quickly to change their preference and how it affects the way companies develop their products as well, right? Sorry, it's my Google phone. Sorry. And also, Mr. Ross, I know this question is aimed to the global market, but in the Southeast Asia only, right? So I'll come back to you later. So what about Eliza? Would you like to share your opinion as well on this topic too?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, globally, we're seeing the same thing, just around, the drive for choosing products that have general health benefits. And we're also seeing, seeking out products that will boost immunity for people. So completely, tying in what Ying is saying, and look, we don't have, the specific research that you've done within the Asian region, so it's really interesting to hear what you had to say. What we've also seen, but probably more so from a global perspective, is that, choices are being made based on indulgence as well. We're also seeing consumers being driven to look at where the products originate from, especially given, the disruptions to the supply chain globally. So it's become more and more important. And also, I think everyone's seen changes in eating habits too, right? So, more preparation of food at home, or as I saw in Singapore not that long ago, lots and lots of home deliveries. And consumption of food at home. So that's what we're seeing, but generally more on a global basis as opposed to specifically Southeast Asia.
I understand. So great, thank you for answering that. Before I move to the next question, do any speaker would like to add some more on your opinion as well? Otherwise, we'll go to the next question. All right. Let me see the next question. Next question is about the South Asian consumers as well. Let me publish the question for all of you. So are Southeast Asian consumers looking for particular functional or fortified food and beverages? And how important are nutrition labels to consumers in this region right now? So I would like to invite Eliza to answer this question. Since you just finished the first one, to answer first, all right? Oh, sorry. Would you like to answer that too, Genny?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Jack, for the question. Yeah, so before I answer directly to the what are the functional food and beverage Asian consumers or Southeast Asian consumers are looking at, I would like to just share also, the survey that Ying has referred to. And this is a survey that Kerry is conducting on a biannual basis, where we try to understand, the health and wellness behavior of consumers. And I would like to share in terms of what first are the need states that Southeast Asian consumers are looking at. So in that survey, we have looked at 4 or 5 Southeast Asian countries, and among, in terms of the immune health benefits that consumers are looking at, in a very similar for across the Southeast Asia region, you have immunity. So that is definitely the number one. And the difference we have seen from 2019 and 2021 was that now all the countries has ranked immunity as number one. You have promote good digestive health. So that is part of always the top 2 or top 3. You have heart health. So that's also, part of the top 5 listed. And you have bone and joint health. Then other countries will select improve energy or better health. Then from that, we have looked at, okay, what are, depending on the health benefits you are looking at, what are the type of product you are, expecting to take from that. So in general, for Southeast Asia, we have seen very consistent answers from the different countries. What is coming out is fruit and beverage juices. Fruit and vegetable juice, dairy and non-dairy drinks. Of course, dairy, whether it's drink or yogurt, has always been perceived by Southeast Asian consumers as a healthy matrix. But there's also functional or fortified water, enhanced water. And as well, we saw a hot beverage and RTD drinks. So those, when we ask for immune health, we ask for digestive health, we ask for bone and joint health, those are the applications where consumers are expecting or will look for in terms of delivering those health benefits. Now, I think your second questions on that one was in terms of the label, right? And how important are nutrition labels to consumers in this region? So I will say that labeling, whether it's nutrition, and I would talk this a bit wider in terms of like packaging, communication, it's I would say that it's even more important when it's come to health and wellness food and beverage versus non-health and wellness food and beverage or other food and beverage, because consumers who buy those products, as we shared earlier, are usually educated or well aware and very demanding. So they really look for information to educate themselves and understand what they are buying, because usually there's a value added inside there. And in that same survey, we also ask the consumers, what drive your purchase intent for health and wellness products. And a lot of, a big response from the top selection was like, I'm able to do the research on the ingredients that is used, or the ingredients used has science that is backed, by ingredients that are backed by science. But of course, there's also, especially like in Indonesia, etc., there's also doctors recommendation and a friend's recommendation. So I will say that definitely nutrition labeling is key for all these educating consumers, but key also for bringing the trust and transparency of your product. So I always come back to that, and I emphasize this on my speech earlier, but I think in that crowded space where in the last 18 months you have seen so many products launch in the market, if I'm a consumer, you are a consumer, I think for driving my purchase is really for me to understand that product and to convince me on that product, right? So communication on labeling and indirect communication would be key for succeeding on those type of products. Thank you. A bit long, but thank you very much.
Yes, it's okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing that information. Southeast Asia is a really huge and diverse market, and it can also be expected that taste will be a big consideration when formulating the functional food, right? As well, before we move to the next topic, would you like to, aside from Kerry, Ross or Eliza, would you like to share some opinion or points from your side as well? It's okay. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I think we, of course, have to really focus on taste with plant-based products. That's the biggest consumer concern, I guess, when they're coming to plant-based products, particularly fermented plant-based products, that if they're used to a dairy type of flavor, it can be quite a challenge when you first encounter plant-based ingredients. So it is an acquired taste in many cases, and also the taste can be different to what you expect when you have a neutral product compared to an acidified product that's fermented. So really, I think taste is one of the, like any food product, the major concern for people, and it's about adapting that to different markets.
Exactly. So do you want to answer something, Genny?
Yeah, maybe if I want to add on what Ross is saying, because Kerry, we have a nutritional, but we also have a taste business, right? And we always say, from consumers, from customers, etc. We saw that your earlier question, is taste more important or health more important? I will say that definitely taste that to repeat purchase. If the consumers doesn't like that, whether it's healthy or not, they won't buy it. So taste is definitely a key element to that. And as we also say, now the consumer is very looking for this holistic approach. They are not willing to compromise anymore. So you have to combine that. And the challenge of suppliers like us, like Roquette or Christian Hansen, this is the challenge where we come with of providing to our customers solution that have the taste as well as the health benefits. So, and you're right. We're also facing in terms of formulation, in terms of that plant-based, but there are solutions outside in the market to really getting better and better and to answering to that consumers' need. Thank you.
I see. So let's go to the number 3 question. I think this is an interesting question as well. Many Asian consumers are no strangers to plant-based like soy, grains, and other ingredients. So would you say that formulating for the Asian market is therefore easier? Tricky question. I think it's a tricky question. I would like to ask the gentleman, Mr. Ross, to answer that question first.
I would say what we see is definitely different taste options and preferences in different markets. And one of the great examples is when you come to soy, and we develop soy products and we give it to our European colleagues, and their first impression is that there's too much beanie flavour in here. And then we give it to our Chinese colleagues or colleagues from Southeast Asia, and their comment is, where's the beanie flavour? So there's very much a difference between different markets. And so we have developed, for instance, cultures that are very mild. So if you want the beanie flavour, then you can use a mild culture, and it'll certainly allow those type of plant flavours to still come through in the fermented product. Or if you want to get rid of it, then you can use a more complex culture, and you can erase some of those more vegetable notes and have a more neutral palated product. So we can adapt it to different markets. I can also say that for me, I grew up in far north Queensland in Australia, kicking around coconuts and eating coconut products. So when I first encounter fermented coconut products, for me, it's coconut gone bad, because I'm used to having non-fermented neutral product. So whereas my European colleagues are quite okay with fermented coconut, for them it's something new. And I think that that's also one of the things we see. If people are very much used to a neutral non-fermented product, when suddenly they encounter that plant base also now in a fermented product alongside it, you have to get a little time to get used to the idea that, okay, this is a fermented product, and it has a different flavor to the neutral product people are used to having.
Interesting. Yeah. So I see you nodding, Eliza. Would you like to feedback on that as well?
Yeah, sure. Look, I couldn't agree more, actually, Ross, because I think, it's about what the local norm is, right? So, in the short time that I've been with Roquette, certainly within the Asian region, it's been very evident to me that, yes, soy has been king for a very long time, and that's where the expectation or the benchmark is. And when you're looking at different plant origins, then, yeah, you really are being presented with quite a challenge. And so the drive is to try and find something that is more neutral, that can then be matched, I suppose, with the expectation. But I think, potentially the opportunity is to take, the consumer products in a different direction, whereby you're marking out your own path as far as, if we're talking pea protein, which I do talk about a lot, you mark out a different path in terms of, okay, what's the expectation around pea, and should we, as someone I spoke to recently said to me, do we enhance and celebrate the pea? That's also another possibility, because we will never, as I said earlier, we will never or we will find it hard to replicate what the expectation is around dairy, and certainly around soy. So it's very challenging.
Okay, great.
If we look at something like meat alternative space, if you have, they will carve out eventually their own space, the plant-based products. I always use the example of a falafel. We think of a falafel as a falafel, not as a meat alternative. It's its own thing. And it will eventually, I think, move in that type of direction, where there will be products that are recognized for what they are and for their own flavor and for their own uniqueness, not necessarily trying to be an imitation of an existing product.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, from my side, I've recently read that they're interested in the plant-based is growing in the Philippines. Yeah. India and China as well, right? And of course, the other parts of the region, especially Singapore, which is now a hub for many companies offering plant-based ingredients. So the future is looking very bright, I think. So before we move on to the next question, do we have any feedbacks on or opinions from this question? Okay, so let's move on. Our number 4 question. Wrapping up this discussion, so fast. Are there other thoughts you would like to share about the product innovation? It's an open one to all of you. So I would like to invite maybe Eliza, you would like to answer this first?
Yeah, sure. Look, wouldn't be a decent close without a word from our sponsor, my sponsor, I should say. Sorry, Genny. But I'd just like to close by saying that, Roquette's Neutralist Plant protein portfolio presents a broad offering that gives food and beverage manufacturers plenty of opportunities to participate in the new plant-based gastronomy, and offer consumers in Asia the chance to have their taste buds stimulated and delighted. We're proud of the fact that we address current and future societal challenges by unlocking the potential of nature to offer the best ingredients, and we're a global leader in plant-based ingredients and a preferred partner for food, nutrition and health markets in Asia and globally. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing that. And to the other speakers of this interesting topic, it's kind of open. You can answer it or just give a conclusion to this panel discussion today or your presentation today. So, who'd like to share that?
Go and just comment Ross? That you know, from our side, we see it very important to be able to also tailor solutions to customers. I think that one of the points we see when we're used to working in the dairy industry, where the raw ingredient is pretty much the same everywhere around the world, and so if you develop a solution for one customer, that's applicable generally across different markets, different customers. And what we see here in the plant-based world is just the level of complexity in the different ingredients that are used, so that each customer is basically coming with a unique recipe. So not only do you need to have range, but also to be able to be flexible and work with customers and their individual needs. And so I think that that really, the closeness and the partnership that you need in developing products in this new food area is really critical, and that's something we put a lot of emphasis on, the application resource as well as just the science behind the ingredients themselves.
Yeah.
Great. So Genny?
Yeah, so for me, in terms of wrap up, I will say that, you know, I mean, we are in the time where it's a very exciting time for health and wellness products. It has been exciting the past decades, but now it's even more because consumers' awareness is really much more growing. But I will say that as an industry, I think the challenge that customers or manufacturers are facing is also, you know, in terms of education and communication to consumers, educating all that. So for us, what we see that is, you know, industry or suppliers, our role is not anymore just from the technical side, like, okay, providing, passing the hurdle of formulation and getting great product, etc. But I think supporting our customers to the end, you know, from A to Z, developing the product, but also how to position it, how to communicate it, and to the lens of registration, because regulation across Southeast Asia is really a hurdle. I mean, country by country is all different. So our role has a bit more extent, I would see, you know, from just an ingredients suppliers, B2B suppliers. We are being more like a partner where we really focus on helping the customers on all aspects of their development to support them and navigating through this complex market. Because it sounds, you know, if you add on the technical, the regulation, the communication, the education inside there to make a product successful, it is a very challenging, but it's a very rewarding segment because it's payoff. It's also payoff on different level. When you deliver a great product that deliver a good health, it's, you know, you're doing good for also the consumers. So for me, product innovation is there. There's a lot of activities, but our role to support our customers are also extending.
So, okay. So also, Ying, it's been a long time, never hear your voice. Would you like to feedback a little bit to Genny as well?
Okay. Yeah, so I actually agree with like Genny and what you know, Ross and Eliza has actually mentioned. I think we are all very aligned when it comes to what consumer wants and you know, the range of product innovation that is happening in Asia right now. So I think consumer, we should also never underestimate the consumer, because we've done a lot of consumer studies. Consumers are sometimes more advanced than what we actually think they are. So purely because, you know, you can get a lot more information online, they self-educate themselves. So, you know, in fact, product innovation become more complex and more aggressive because of the consumer. They are the one challenging us, yeah, as like, you know, ingredient supplier, even as manufacturers as well. So I think, but this is great because we are getting a two-way feedback, and this is what makes the market much more exciting, and making us as manufacturers how we can even give more from our field to the consumer, as well as back to the market as well. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So I guess that pretty much we're getting the end of our panel discussion and also our webinar today. Thank you for joining today. Our virtual conference today. It's a serious conference, so I'm looking forward to see all of you to join us again in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now
Thanks, everyone.
try
Stay
saying
safe.
goodbye to the audience. Okay.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, great. So, okay, as we just say thank you to all the to speakers, I now here as well as gonna thank all of you, the delegates join. As the old saying goes, to every beginning there's an ending. Now our virtual conference has come to its end. Thank you all participants who join us in the special virtual conference with an online lobby and an exhibition booth. Have you paid a visit to their booth already? So you have to do it. There are a lot of information and PDF to download. So you have to do this before you go. In addition, we thank our special guest speakers for giving us insightful speeches regarding new technologies and applications, new market trends as well, that can boost your productivity and create products to meet today's demand. If you have further questions, you are also welcome to check their website or email to our speakers today. Or you can go to your left-hand side, the speaker page. You can have a contact information or simply just private message to those speakers. Once again, thank you everyone for gracing our virtual conference with your presence. We truly appreciate it. You will gonna receive a feedback form, inviting email, or in the notification. Try to fill in the feedback form so we can know you better and have a great, better activity or conference today for you later in the future. Anyway, thank you for your time today. Okay, to sum up, good day. Bye-bye.